Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
On behalf of BVO Sports TV, we would like to thank our sponsor, Raycon, makers of the Raycon Everyday Earbuds, the perfect model for premium sound with active noise cancellation to block out distractions and transparency mode to keep you aware of your surroundings. They are the ideal for your everyday needs. Just visit rayconglobal.com. That's rayconglobal.com and elevate your listening experience.
What's up, guys? Chris Algieri here. Big shout out to BVO Sports TV.
Shout out to BVO Sports TV. Make sure you tune in right away. Hottest in the city, hottest in the U.S.
Shout out to BVO Boxing. You understand? Check the boy out. Check the kid out. You understand?
Yo, what's up, fam? It's Sharif One, the only one from New York City. Yo, shout out BVO Boxing. We appreciate you, everything you do for the boxing culture, for the world. Can't wait for it to be on top, man. Salute.
This is a sick Negro.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BVO Sports TV. We back with another great show. Give me 1 second. We back with another great show. About to have some fun. What's going on? How y'all brothers doing?
What's the word?
Good. Hey, so we got to talk about this, man. We got breaking news. I hate to kind of talk about this stuff, but we got to. But unfortunately, we found out Tank Davis. There's a tape on Tank Davis putting his hands on another woman, and I just think at some point, man, the brother got to be out of boxing for a while to get his head together. What do you guys think about that?
They say there's a video, but they didn't say there's a video of him doing that. They said those are the allegations that's being made.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the video shows because it's just hard for me to believe the video shows him doing this and they haven't charged him yet. They had the video since October. This stuff was in October. We about to be in December now, and they still haven't charged him. So I don't know what the video shows, but I know, according to the female's lawyer, there was no bruises on her. There was no signs of struggle or anything like that. They had asked her, did she want to press charges? She said she don't know. She got to think about it, and then she went and filed a report the next day. So I don't know what's going on in the case. I just find it hard to believe if there was any video showing what this lady said he did, why he's not being charged yet. That's the only question that I have. Because that seems very, very funny, because when the whole situation happened with his baby mother, within 4 days they came knocking on his door. So I just don't understand why, if the video showing all this that the lady is saying, why he hasn't been charged yet.
Yeah, my humble opinion is I don't know. I'll say this: everybody's not lying. Everybody keeps saying that he's been physical with women. Everybody's not lying. Did he beat her up or whatever? I don't know, but he's doing something. Cause I looked at that video again with from 2020 that he had with his girlfriend, and he was dragging her out of the place. Bro, if somebody grabs your daughter like that, or your niece or cousin like that, it would be an issue. So I'm not gonna sit here and act as if I'm not perfect by any stretch, but he clearly has a problem keeping his hands off women, because he's probably got like that short man complex where you see a guy shoot the vacay bay, where you when you continuously get into this kind of stuff with women, man, nobody's lying. But I'll ask you this and saying that we'll go to prize. Do you think a guy that can't keep his hands off women should be in our sport? What do you think?
I don't think it's cool for a guy to put his hands on a woman at no point in time unless he's defending himself from instant death or something like that. What it seems like it's a pattern going on that he's used to doing. We've been seeing this, you know what I'm saying? We try to give these celebrities a way out, you know what I'm saying? And we want to give them second and third chances. You know, I just had this conversation about Mystical in his situation. Sometimes we got to step back. Sometimes we got to step back and say, well, hold on, this is a pattern. This is just who this person is. Doesn't matter if you like the way he boxed. Doesn't matter if you like his braids or anything else, bro. He has a problem with putting his hands on women. And me having daughters, about to have a granddaughter, sisters, aunties, and cousins, it's just not cool to hit women unless you're just in immediate danger. You know, I can understand if you're in immediate danger, but he's been doing this for a while. Everybody's not lying on him. You know what I'm saying? It always seemed to be the same thing, whether it's his baby mama, his side chick, his girlfriend, old girl up the street. You know what I'm saying? It's you putting your hands on women. And there's just no respect for any type of man like that. So, you know, I can't support the dude, which I really never did. But I'm not the type to kick a dude when he down. But bro, you doing too much, bro. Keep your hands off women. You make millions fighting dudes. You rather not fight dudes to go beat up a woman? It don't make no sense, bro. That's women that you remind me of a chick named Tiffany, homie. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm ending on that.
Well, here's my thing. And what D Free is, you know, because he's in the law enforcement world. Why hasn't no charge been pressed? That's a good point. But we've seen him do this on tape before. And I would like BVO said, I don't want him to grab my daughter. If I see you grab my daughter like that, we got a problem. But I'm pretty sure if USA Today posted something like that, saying that they saw footage of somebody that appeared to be Javante and posted, you know, you can get sued in the media for that kind of stuff. So I feel like it could be 50-50, but Tank is he corny, man. I don't want to go off. I don't want to start hooping and hollering, but Tank mad corny, bro. He got daughters. What if somebody did that to his daughters? He'd be ready to go crazy. So
yeah,
you know, I got 2 daughters, and that's why I got my daughter in jiu-jitsu, and she is good. So if one of these Tank Davis tattoo braided dudes put their hands on her, she gonna be able to fight. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
I seen her grab the girl, and the way they described it looked like what we already saw.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I just say this. When it comes to what we're talking about with this brother, man, it's kind of getting old because we talk every time he in trouble, it's the same thing. He's not in trouble for speeding. He's not in trouble for, you know, not paying his tab. He's always in trouble for fighting women. But I'll say this. One thing we got to do is just it is what it is at this point. I'm not going to judge him. I'm not going to say no more. I just had to cover it because it came out today. But
and then what's this thing about that he's hiding from the police? What's that about? Is that real?
I don't know. I don't want to get into that part. I don't know.
Can I say something real fast? Charges don't immediately be filed in situations like that. You get what I'm saying? So those charges can come a week later, 2 weeks later. You know what I'm saying? We never know what the police are investigating. They got to get in contact with this person. But it's called a defamation lawsuit. And if a big network like that posts something that they see, trust me, that big network got lawyers and things like that. They're not just posting anything. Tank Davis has a problem with putting his hands on women. We see how he does, how he talks to the women in boxing, and we seen it with his child's mother. You know, maybe it's from the lack of having his mother around the way he wanted her around, or, you know, whatever it may be, bro. You have a legit problem with putting your hands on women. And I can't stand for it, and I don't stand for no man beating no woman, bro. It's just not cool, homie. Straight up. Unless you're in immediate harm, immediate danger, keep your hands to yourself because you make millions fighting dudes. That doesn't make sense, bro.
It does.
We got my OG in here, man. We got my man Bernard Hackett. Bernard, let me ask you a question, man.
Yes, sir.
So one thing I always knew that you always make a big deal of, or something that you stand by, that you don't tolerate violence against women. When you see a guy, and I'm not saying that he's guilty or any of that, anything of that nature. When you see a guy who seems to keep having the same problem where he's being inappropriate with women, what's some advice you would give a person like that? I'm not even talking about the fighter. I'm just saying in general. If you've seen a guy who just can't seem to shake that rap of being too physical with women, what would you say to somebody like that?
I would say get some help. Somewhere there's an underlying issue that's going on. Maybe they were a victim of abuse. Maybe it was the way that they came up. But there has to be some underlying issue when you speak of that. And I don't just speak on get help because it's a celebrity athlete. Because if you look at it, some of the most violent people towards women are politicians and police officers. They just don't get it reported because they have a shield that they hide behind. So if we're going to stake people out, let's stake out the name abusers, not the name celebrity abusers.
Right.
Because if we look at the larger scale of it, the average person is more abused than the average celebrity. So I think they should get help. I do think that there has to be consequences. We live in a society where the consequences fit the price bracket, not the crime. So if that's the case, we got to make something wrong all the way around. I don't think that it's right that somebody can abuse anybody, a man, woman, or a child. You have definitive proof, but the person can choose whether they want to step up and have it dealt with or not. I think once there is enough, then they should have to deal with the consequences of it. You know, I look at Ray Rice's situation. Ray Rice, they had it on tape. Ray Rice's wife wasn't pressing it, but everything around it pressed it. And I think it was the right thing. Did I want to see him lose his means to take care of his family? By no way. But at the end of the day, abusers are allowed to abuse because most of the people they abuse, what they gain out of the situation to them seems to be bigger than the abuse. You know, it's easy to put a guy in jail that abuses you when you got to catch the bus to work the next morning with a black eye. It's hard to put the guy in jail who abuses you when you got to wake up the next morning, put on Chanel glasses to get in a Rolls Royce. So it shouldn't be an option of the person. It should be, what does the law say?
Yeah, and the reason I say that, because unfortunately, you know, people like me, you and Sane had to answer for our actions at times. And I'm just wondering, when you have a guy, and like I said, I don't want to make it about Tank. I'm just saying, when you got guys that continue to have the same thing happen. I used to hear my grandma say at the time, if everybody's saying the same thing, somebody ain't lying. But I ask you this, brother Mark, when you see a person who won't get help, what was something you would say as a mentor? I know you mentor a lot of people. What would you say for somebody you know that refuses to get help?
I gotta stop messing with them. I mean, to me, it has to be a community situation where the community is saying we gotta stop. We live in a system where status outrules incident. And that's with anybody. Status outrules incident. But then I don't want to be a hypocrite and speak against. When I'm a product, I mean, in the 80s, I was in the streets in the 80s. And I'm not ever gonna glorify streets. And I know I did some stuff that, man, it should have put me behind bars. And I can't, and no, I ultimately did go. I'm just talking about from this avenue. in relationships, being in the street, especially being as young as I was, you talking about 16, 17 years old, you got some money. I remember the days when their family played into it. I was 16, 17 years old. If you provide money for the family to eat, they saying, girl, you was wrong. You know he told you don't go back out this house. I'm 16, 17. She's 16, 17. I'm not her father. But once again, financial situations made it where that became okay in impoverished communities. I'm not going to say black communities. In every impoverished community, That was the mindset. That was the concept. Just think, back in the 80s, 70s, 80s. I listened to my father about the 70s. I was, a teenager in the 80s. I tell my sons, if my son had a girlfriend at 15, 16, the age of some of the women that I was dealing with at 15, 16, I'd have had a lot of women in prison. I'd have been in the justice office a whole lot, because it's not because he's a boy overlooking, because you can't do it as a girl. But back in those days, when I was in the mid 80s, the average bad 16, 17, 18-year-old girl, her boyfriend was probably 26, 27 in a bag. And nobody said nothing when they saw her driving a car that they know she didn't purchase. So I think you got to go to the root of a problem, not to the one of the petals on the flower. Don't pluck a rose's petal. You got to pull it out by the root. Yeah. And the root is our mindset. Yeah. I heard the good brothers talk about themselves being fathers, and they wouldn't let nobody do it to their daughter. Yeah. In that same token, you can't find yourself cool with a nigga who's doing it, and man, that's my man, and that ain't my girl, and I don't know, because that's that underlying thing again. Yeah, that's like the family that eat off of them. Oh, I don't say nothing about him. It's like our issue with our communities. That's why I say it's deeper. If you look at our communities and see what's going on, do you understand the reason that we still have gang violence, the reason that we still have drug selling in communities, and the reason that we have the senseless stuff that go on? Because grandma hate to see it done on the evening news, but grandma, that's your grandson, your sons, your nephews that's out there doing it. Until you think it's wrong for them to do it, then it's never gonna change in the community. Right. Yeah. I ain't no street dude no more. I tell people all the time, I ain't no active soldier. I'm a civilian now.
I'm a civil now. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was an active soldier, I believed in no snitching. 100%. I'm an active soldier. Yeah. I don't tell on another soldier. But now I'm a full-fledged civilian. I got the orange hat. I got the neon vest. I'm walking my community. And guess what? I walk my community with my head up high, because I'm not a snitch. I'm a person that wants to be in a safe community. Now, if I'm on and that's where the mix-up happened at. I see teachers dressed like dudes in the neighborhood, and they'll tell a kid to come to them and tell them a real problem, and they be like, "Shawty, let me see how I can say it to them dudes, because we don't advocate snitching." You a teacher? What are you talking about? You got teachers saying that foolishness. So when you look at the overall problem, the problem is not the pedal on the rose. The problem is the root.
Yep,
that's a good point. Hey, well, going into our next thing, I wanted to ask you guys this. So we've been talking a lot about the different fighters coming up, but one thing I wanted to bring up, and people don't really bring this up enough, did Bill Haney become the most powerful independent promoter in boxing? What would you guys say about that? Anybody can start.
I would say, yeah, and I think he already been there. I think the way he moved his son around, I think him going to every promoter fighting on pretty much all these top ranks and the zones and pro boxing, wherever he had to fight, wherever he had to be to get his son to where he had to get to, he did the best thing. But the smartest thing Bill did was partner with these people and not have to sign his soul over to him. And that's highly respectable. And like I say, this boxing game is a dirty game, you know what I'm saying? So if you take notes from anybody, I think it would be from a Bill Haney, you know what I'm saying? Because it seems like he has the blueprint.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you this though, and say, do you think he could have did this without Devin? I feel like Devin is a major piece to this game.
I think what it was the same thing that Jay-Z is. Bill Haney was smart in the street, and he took that business savvy that he had in the streets to the corporate world, i.e. being boxing, and he sit back and learn from the best. He just happened to have a son that was a beast. You get what I'm saying? His son was just happened to be a beast. But same thing Bill Haney's doing is the same thing Jay-Z has done, the same thing that 50 Cent done.
In Brother B,
But
in
we're
Brother
talking
B
about a
doing
dude who
that.
said y'all said this brother sat in jail for almost 10 years. I think that's the part people forgetting. For a guy to sit in jail 10 years and come out and be the promoter, I give them brothers credit, man, because to miss a whole decade of your life in prison, not jail, prison, I got to give Bill his credit. Because I didn't even realize, I was listening to an interview and he was explaining that when he went to federal prison, I think he said he learned. And he said every time he went to jail, he kept becoming a better and better criminal. But when he had his oldest son, he just kind of figured, hey, it can't happen like this. And he was pretty candid and said he didn't do some things right with his older kids. And he tried to redeem that with Devin and his son, Sean. And I'm going to just ask you guys this. I ask you to start this off free. Is there such thing as redeeming yourself to your children if you were bad starting out?
He fell down the steps.
Oh, okay, cool. Anybody can answer that then.
I'll take the range on this one. You said, is there a way you can redeem yourself in front of you? You said the last part again, and I got you.
What I was saying is, he was saying how before he went to prison, he had to come home. He wanted to redeem himself because he wasn't there for his oldest son and the way he was for his younger kids. I'm just saying, do you think is there a way you can redeem yourself after that?
Yes, it definitely is. Every day you got a chance to redeem yourself and be there for your children. Some people think it's not okay to apologize to your children for the mistakes that you made, but you got to understand this. I wasn't born a parent. I was born a kid, you know what I'm saying, going through life like everybody else. So I apologize to my kids because as a dude that been in and out of prison and do the things that I was doing, and how I apologize, I physically say it and then I show it. I show the change in me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm showing them the way now. So don't think because you've been to prison or you made a mistake that's just on your permanent record with your kid. Remember, your kid love you, but you have to be open and honest. You have to be open and honest with your children. So yes, every day you can, you know what I'm saying, fix whatever relationship you have with your children, whether it was bad or not. Every day you
my kid knows nothing about my past.
When you fail them is when you can't breathe no more and they didn't get to hear you apologize. That's when you failed.
Go ahead, bro.
My kids don't know nothing about my past. And even my son, my 22-year-old, he don't know but so much, you know?
But you rich.
But no, like I did stuff, like it's a long story. Like
shout out to Chico, man. Hey,
like people.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No. Like there's a lot of stuff in my past I did that I'm not happy about. And my son, he don't know about all that. My daughters especially don't know. But my son, like I have a little bit of conversation, he'll tell you.
Hey, let me ask you this, Brother Bernard. And I thought Bill's story was pretty touching to spend a decade in prison and be able to say, I wasn't right to my older children, but I did better with my younger children. Can you redeem yourself with your children when you spend that kind of time in prison? Not the young kids, the older kids.
I think you can redeem yourself in any situation that you deem yourself doing something wrong with. Remember what you asked, can I redeem? That says at one point I deemed my actions to be right. So if I come to the knowledge that my actions were wrong, then I can redeem. I can go back and make correct what I made broken. You know, I think it's an honorable thing to try and fix things that you broke. Whether it's with your kids, their mothers, your own family. I think that is the thing that is the beginning of being able to do something different. Is first going back and fix what you broke.
And the reason I say that is because I didn't realize that that's one of the things that motivates and drives Bill was the time he missed in prison. And it's like, hearing him talk now, it's like, he's been there, but I got to give him credit for, and same thing with my man, Brother Bernard, and a lot of brothers, man. It's good to not see that jail didn't take your mind, because it does that to a lot of people. Like, when you see a guy come out of prison and then be able to own a multi-million-dollar business, now I don't know if this is true. They saying the man has a net worth upwards of $8 million. And I'm thinking to myself, wow. And it's a brother who was gone. I'm going to ask you this, and I ask you this, Brother Bernard, then I'm going to go to Insane, then we're going to go back to Prize. How are these guys coming from prison leapfrogging everybody?
They leapfrog them in the first part of life. If a frog races a snail, he's gonna beat him every time. It doesn't matter how far back you put the frog. It's just the natural way of things. People refuse to accept that in life, some people are dedicated followers and some people are dedicated leaders. Mm-hmm. And if you look at that as reality, don't fault a follower for being a follower, and don't execute judgment on a leader for being a leader. That's just the natural way of it. You go right down to the animals. In a lion pride, there is a leader. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is a subsequent follower. In some lion prides, there are multiple lions. So that means that some of those males are what? They're natural followers because he had to weed out all of the natural leaders. You can't slave for two masters. You can't have two kings in one kingdom.
Yeah. Hey, y'all gotta smash that like button for us, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
Please smash the like button.
We got 13 people in. We got to get 13 likes.
Yeah,
what would you say about that insane? Because we keep seeing it. Dudes leaving prison. Because one thing I laughed about, Bill said they talk about me like a dog, but whoever you want to name had a head start on me, and I'm still catching up. And being a Bay Area nigga, he was talking some fly stuff, saying how he just got started. But you know what? The funny thing about it, though, Bernard, I think people don't realize, Bill is correct. He just got started. I mean, Devin could just be the beginning piece to get him going, because that's all you need is one fighter. People don't know this, but Ernie Shavers started Don King Commotions. Ernie Shavers, you probably didn't know that.
Ernie was a monster.
Andre Berto was the first guy PBC had. So that's what I mean when I say that. But go ahead, Insane.
My thing is this. Okay, my thing. Go
ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Okay, so my thing is this: when you remember, a lot of dudes went to jail for hustling. So let's not get a lot of dudes went to jail for hustling and a lot of other things. But you gotta understand, once you got time to get the outside world out your head, you got time to sit down there and plan, bro. Write these plans up. Go over it. You know what I'm saying? You got time to get your stuff, get your affairs in order, right? And you don't have all of the distractions of the world. What you mean the distractions of the world? I mean, you're not worrying about the clothes, the women. You're not worried about none of that. You have one specific goal when you get out of here, and that's to execute this plan. And that's why a lot of dudes are beating these dudes. And then you have more, not only time, but you have more avenues. You know what I'm saying? And more minds to help you with your plans. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a lot of smart brothers sitting in federal prison right now. That's millionaires. That's coming home millionaires. It's a lot of dudes in state prison right now coming home with money. You feel what I'm saying? But it's the distractions. They're getting away from the distractions and actually can sit down and execute a plan.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of you saying that, you know that Suge Knight lost 115 pounds in prison, and he said going to jail has been the best thing that ever happened to him.
Wow, is that true?
Yeah, that's true. Can you believe that? Sugar Bear said that going to prison, Bernard and Insane, was the best thing that ever happened to him. Mm.
I agree with him. I agree with him.
He in the big house. He not in jail. He in the
That's
big
what
house.
Denzel said in Flight.
Because you can stay focused on the goal. And the goal was, okay, every day I'm gonna get up like the goal. I'm gonna get up at 5 a.m. I'm gonna bust down at 5 to open yards, and I'm gonna go to yard, do my laps or whatever. Then I'm gonna hit the bars, and I'm gonna do this and do that. I can bust down. You actually have time for yourself. You know what I'm saying? To execute these plans. There's no distractions. What
do you mean? There's no distractions?
As far as the world, what's going on in the world? You got women over here shaking it over here. You probably got enemies over here. You can't do this. You want to hustle and make money here. You got to deal with these problems. You got all these problems. But when it's you and you in that cell, probably you say me and you in the cell, BVO want to write a book. BVO gonna be writing a book. I'm gonna be like, well, BVO, I like to write books too, homie. Or you could ask me for my input on things, but you're gonna be so laser focused because guess what? It's you in that book in that cell. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's no outside distractions.
And a lot of these dudes is distracted, like what you said nowadays. It's too much. They got the internet, they got these social medias, and they spoil. And when they go down, that road, they learn the hard way. And they know they're
Yeah.
not tough to be in there. So stop acting like stop acting so tough.
I mean,
Yeah, I'll get.
that's that.
Go
But
ahead,
let
my
me say
bad.
one more thing. And about the Suge Knight whole thing, right? When you said about Suge losing 160 pounds, right? That's because he's getting up and he on that regimen. A lot of dudes ain't like we on the streets. So when we getting up, we probably, oh man, I'm about to eat this steak, or I'm about to go over here. I ain't got time to work out, or I'm about to go mess with this broad. But once I'm in that cell and I got the homies and we on this routine, yeah, this is what I'm doing because I ain't doing nothing else. I might as well bust down and get my body right. You know what I'm saying? You stay focused on the goal. And that's why you see these dudes, they come home and they be right. But then a month or two after that, they lose discipline and they lose everything that they earned in jail. You lose it.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. I'm a big fan of this rapper. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him. His name is Big Trade E. And one thing Trade E said, I love
out
his
to Big Trade E. We love you, Trade E. We love you.
I love one thing he said, I'll never forget. He said, and Bernard, this will hit me. He said, you know what? I had to look at myself and say, man, I got to get in shape. And you guys gonna laugh at me when I say this, but now when I go to work, I work at a huge complex. I make sure I take 2 or 3 laps around the complex. They think I'm checking the trucks. No, I'm trying to get myself together back a little bit slowly, but slowly but surely I'm gonna get back to where I need to be. But I never thought about that because to hear Suge or even hear Bill made it seem like when he went to prison, he was in school. It was just funny to hear that, like to go from being in jail to like being in school. Because he said something that was funny. I don't know if you guys ever heard this, but he said they would get a new video game every month, right? And Bill said that he made up in his mind that he was nobody's kid and he wasn't going to just keep playing the video game. And he said what happened to guys, they go to prison and they act like kids, and then before they know it, their time is up and they did nothing. And it's like, that make a lot of sense because think about Wallow. That brother came from being in prison all them years, 20-some years, now a multi-million-dollar podcast. And you can almost say he's the catalyst for that podcast. And it's just like, I got to give Bill credit. And is that true? You think that's true, Bernard and Insane and Prize and Mark?
Can I say something before you go to the rest?
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
I think. No, let me sit down and let you go. Do you think with Charleston White, and I'm gonna have after Marcus, and I'm gonna ask you guys this. Charleston White said more young guys who want to be street guys need to go to prison. It'll make them a man that they should be. But go ahead, Mark.
Well, I think everybody is making great points. I've never been to jail. I've never been arrested. I hope to never be. But when you get sat down like that, that's when you get sent to jail or prison. That's sit down time. That's time where, like Insane said, you only got one thing that you should be focusing on, and that's improving. Whether it's your health, like what we seen, like what you just said with Suge Knight, shedding 115 pounds. Shout out to that brother. I mean, my entire life watching Suge Knight, he has been a large human being. So I can't even imagine what that looked like. His brother done shed 115 pounds. I mean, he probably a monster now, but I mean, I agree with what Insane said. Like when you on sit down time, you should only be focused on improving. I mean, you think about stories like Nelson Mandela. He spent almost 30 years in prison because he was trying to overthrow the evil oppressors of his country. Reuben Hurricane Carter, almost 20 years in prison, but he was focused on proving his innocence. And with Bill Haney, he came out of prison and he had a plan that he was going to invest everything in his son. And when they came into boxing, they didn't follow the regular path. They decided to go pro early. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to wait. They didn't want to wait another 4 years for the Olympics. They went to Mexico. You know what I'm saying? They went against the establishment and the old,
Mark,
you kind of went out, Mark.
He got that Walmart phone.
Oh, my bad. Can y'all hear me?
Just say the last part again, my brother.
No, I was just saying, no, he had a plan. He invested in his son, and they came in. They rejected the old establishment way, the old promoters. They went ahead, signed with Eddie Hearn. They took huge advantage of that early cash flow with the zone that Eddie Hearn was getting from them. So then, I mean, and then obviously his son had to do the job. You know what I'm saying?
He only got $15,000 from Eddie initially. That's all the money.
But that's not what he got.
No, I'm talking about initially. He initially got $15,000 from Eddie.
But I don't know how that works. Weren't they always Is that an offer? Are you saying that was an offer that was sent?
They gave him like a bonus for signing. It was like $15,000. He took that, got his LLC. He took that money and kind of made himself a business. Well, this what I want to ask the panel. How in the world?
Before you go, man. Before you go, I just wanted to finish off and say that Bill Haney absolutely took advantage of the free market capitalism of a wild west industry like boxing. And when TKO comes in, that's one of the things I'm going to be kind of sad about, because you're not going to have guys like Bill Haney and his son Devin Haney who can go out there and make it on the Grange on their own. Because I think those types of stories are important for boxing.
Mm-hmm. And I
like Brother B.
Ain't
Brother B an independent contractor too?
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We need that. We don't. I hope TKO never.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope TKO never comes out, because I want Brother Bernard and Jaleel and them to get $100 million fight too. Because he come here at his personal time to come hang out with us, so we have to show the respect.
Hey,
Bernard,
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real about open capitalism. In order to have open capitalism, somebody got to eventually first put up the capital. So if them people come in, and the capital look right for us to do what we want to do down the line, we're taking that capital. I'm all about capitalism. I'm sorry. You right, but in order for people to open up a store, there has to be somebody willing to buy goods.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if they putting up the capital for me to be able to do something at a different level for my son, and I hate having conversations about my past, but my past logical life, when I got started, it was based on somebody else having the capital. So you got to think about it realistically. If somebody else is willing to put up the seed money that you don't have to put up, because I'm gonna tell you, Leonard Ellerby, I learned a lot from Leonard Ellerby. Me and Leonard used to have a lot of conversations. Leonard told me the real, and I'm gonna give a shout out to Eddie Hearns about it, the real of what it costs to get somebody a title shot. The average boxer, and when I say that, like Jaleel fought for the Continental title, for WBC title. Them titles come with some money with it, and you can have the baddest fighter in the land. But if you ain't got no money, guess what? You can't afford sanction fees. You can't afford. You can't afford to have the conversation with the person that can make shit happen. Why you think they tell fighters, get your money together and go to the conventions and meet all of the people who run the conventions for WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO? Because you got to be able to meet these people and put your name in their conversation round. And if you ain't got the money to travel to Thailand, to travel to Colombia, to go to all these places, you're never going to be in the conversation piece with these people. You know, we got to start looking at boxing the same way we look at regular youth sports. It takes money to grow the best teams. I done seen AAU basketball teams from Cali. And I know some of the dudes that's putting some bread behind these kids to play. And I'm saying that because they don't want nothing. They just be like, I love the game. These kids love to play. They don't have the ability to go play. You talking about in a lot of instances, because AAU just got commercially good in the last 15 years. There was a dude from your neighborhood that was paying for them kids to travel, paying for them kids to have uniforms,
They paid for my son, Coach B.
Yeah.
When initially
capital.
I had to pay $1,500, but once I paid that registration fee, they pretty much blessed them. They went to Florida, everywhere. You know, they was one of them teams, and like you said, they sponsored, and that ultimately led for him to get paid for his tuition to go to a Catholic school to play basketball too.
That's real, man. Yeah. If it wasn't for Curtis Malone, glad to see the brother home from prison. there would be no Kevin Durant. There would be a lot of guys that didn't get their opportunity. Shout out to the brother that was in I want to say in Chicago when Chris Webber and all them was playing AAU ball. This Slim was making sure we had shoes, not just basketball shoes, shoes, period.
Right.
Is that the one that Kevin Durant gave all that money to?
That was Curtis Malone.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So you got to think, man. These dudes didn't know whether you was gonna be a superstar or an average kid. All they knew was some kids in the neighborhood I came from that want to play basketball. They don't have the ability to play. So them dudes funded AAU kids. And I'm telling you some real stuff. You always say something about my brother on the show, Rich. I laugh about it, but guess what? 10 years from now, if this whole process don't keep going with people investing back in their communities, the only kids that will have the potential to be a pro athlete will be the ones that come from affluent families.
Yeah. It's already like that with my son.
Let me do this real quick.
I couldn't afford to at the time because I was young with my son. Like you talking about going to Kentucky, Florida, Utah. I'm like, whoa, who's paying for them bus tickets and how do he get there? They was like, once you pay this fee, and I was just like, now the AAU, it costs so much money to join.
But let me ask you guys this, and then we're gonna get back kind of to Bill a little bit. This is my final question about this. What do you guys think about what Charleston White said? That he said most of these young guys who like to be violent, it would do them good to spend long periods of time in prison. You guys think that's true?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't believe that.
Hell yeah.
Let me explain to you why.
I say yeah too.
Let me explain to you why.
And they little asses to jail.
Let me explain to you why. A lot of those young dudes they come from single parent homes and they don't have fathers. So that's the root of the things. Or they don't have a male figure in their lives. A lot of dudes join gangs because the fathers wasn't around, you know what I'm saying? So you're looking for that guidance. So you find in the street because moms are steady pushing you out the house or moms is at work all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that they need jail. They just need they need somebody that they can follow with good intentions from, like their father, maybe their uncle, maybe
these little niggas is
I remember
bad,
when
bro.
we was younger, we had something called the Big Brothers program and things like that. You know, now do a lot of the young dudes need to be in jail? You know, I've been in and out, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it helped me out a lot, but then I seen a lot, it made a lot go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I know we say this now, but do you really want to throw away a 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old? You want to throw them away instead of giving them the help that they need? And that makes you out of touch. Hold on. That makes you out. Hold on.
He committed a heinous crime, yes.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Because everybody needs to be forgiven and needs redemption, right? We all need that. So don't just throw the young brother away. Bro. Give him the proper help that he needs.
These 14, 15-year-olds riding around with switches in Philadelphia. And they they doing it in Long Beach, they doing it in California, they doing it everywhere else. But are they doing it?
But let me say,
their parents are in the home though. You need a strict father.
Hey, and give me an example of one that you say don't need that need to be forgiven. Just give me an example of one, because I know you out there at Cali, right? So give me an example of one that need to be forgiven.
Well, I take it back. I take it back to myself. I take it back to my younger self. Did I deserve to be in jail for carrying guns and things like that and go through everything I went to go through? Nah, man. But if Pops was at home and he wasn't pimping, I would have been a better person. I wouldn't have found myself to the gangs. I wouldn't have found myself, you know what I'm saying, chasing some cripping. I wouldn't have did none of that. Pops out here pimping, mom's out here hustling, doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? So me going in the system, oh, I'm from such and such, homie. Now I'm running phase all day. And I'm just like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? And all I really needed was Pops to be there and grab me like, bro, you good at basketball. Stick to basketball.
I give you that. That's why I say for me, I supposed to been in it. I'm be honest with you. I supposed to been in it. I supposed to been in it, but every single day, every single second, every single minute that I supposed to been in it, I supposed to been in it. And I said, and I feel what you saying, bro. My father was on Pimps Up Hoes Down when they showed the old joints. My father was one of them.
On HBO.
Everybody I grew up with, everybody I knew, they grew up with me. They were like, man, that's B-Father. They do that with my dad. But once again,
which one was he?
What I was doing for what I was doing and for what I did, Somebody in prison told me this. This is some funny, crazy stuff. A dude in prison told me. He said, for every person you hit and every life you destroy, how many people thought they deserved a second chance? I said, damn, I ain't never think about that shit like that. For every person I gave them drugs to, for every person I put that thing on, all that stuff I did, and they gave me my time, how many of them people didn't get a second chance? I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know because man, look, when I was all the way out there, I was all the way out there. I used to, man, let me tell you something. I'm glad life did what it did to me. I have a great relationship with God now. I think I value that and cherish it more than ever. But when I was a kid, I used to really love it. You know, the Bible, all that stuff, I loved it. When I went in the streets, the last time I went to church, before I went deep in the streets, I said, God, I won't come in your house causing no chaos. Don't come in mine causing no chaos. I was all in. So for me, I look at these youngins now, and I talk to a lot of them, and I try to get through to some of them. But the ones that can't be got through, the ones that I can't get through to, I tell them society would be better off if you was behind bars or in a box. Because what you're doing is vicious. I'm seeing kids with no ethics. They robbing old people. They running through this. I mean, like at one point you used to have a code of honor. These kids is doing heinous stuff at young ages. They dangerous. You got you got kids
store and just run down. It'd be like 50 of them in the middle of the street, hundreds of them, and they wreak havoc down center city. And
let me say this real quick. And I want to get this. I want to hear this from my man D3, who was in law enforcement. But I'm gonna tell you this, man. When you gonna see that magistrate, Brother Bernard, they should give kids a little more mercy than they do.
Man, cut it out.
When you go in
there,
cut it out. When you go in there,
cut it out.
I disagree.
Cut it out.
Let me tell you.
If they gave me an inch of mercy, I was going right back in them streets to do the same thing. 1 inch of mercy, I was right back out there.
Let me say this. Something happened, unfortunately.
Did he fall down?
And when I went,
I dropped my phone. I dropped my phone.
They saying that something happened, right? And unfortunately, I was responsible for it. And we had a psycho evaluation, and the lady basically said I was an animal and I was gonna stay in Dan Street. That's what she said. It wasn't no talking. She just said, "Oh, if you did all this," and the psycho evaluation, she did me dirty. I'll never forget her name. Miss Kim did me dirty. She went in there and told the people I was an animal, man. And
did she do you dirty, or did she tell the truth?
You don't tell nobody no 12-year-olds no animal.
No. Did she do you dirty, or did she tell the truth?
I don't know. I think she told the truth, but she shouldn't have said
so
that.
If she told the truth, she didn't do you dirty. She did you truthful.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. I came to that realization that they didn't lie about me. They told the truth. So I can't hold anger for a truth teller. I got to hold anger for the person in the mirror that created the story.
Right.
You got. Come on. They vicious.
Can I say something real fast?
Go ahead.
As a dude, like in my situation, right? So we was in the hood. I got caught with a gun on me. I was about to do some crazy, whatever. Boom, bam. So as I go to jail, I was so, jail messed me up so bad that I was only sentenced to 4 months. I didn't come home, bro, till I was 17 years old. It went from 15 to 17 because they kept restarting the 4 months over. And I didn't get a chance to go to YA because, we started taking psych meds. That was the way out of CYA. You know what I'm saying? You know that, BBO. That was our way out.
Unfortunately. Yeah,
so now we at Psych Med Scobie, we still fighting every day and we still gang banging and nothing got right. You know what I'm saying? So I got out even worse.
But hey, Insane, let me ask you.
They make you cloudy.
Let me ask Insane this question. Insane.
Yeah.
When you went in there and you did things, I understand you did things that stretched your time out, right?
Right.
So did she lie, or were they right? Because listen, I'm just saying what you just said. You had the jammy, You was en route, they catch you. But if they'd let you out the next day, you was going to get a backup jammy and go finish what you started the day before.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's what I was saying, bro. But that's all I was saying.
But I say this though, coach, it go back to this, coach. It go back to my father not being there, able to tell me, nah, son, you don't need that. You know what I'm saying? You don't need that gun, go pick up that basketball. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I wasted so much time chasing street credibility, thinking that, oh, when I do all this stuff right here, when I get out, my name gonna be big. So that's what stretched my time out so much. And then when I got when I got out, bro, yeah, everybody showed me love and praise and things like that, but I didn't learn nothing. I failed myself.
You can't, and I'm gonna ask you this, Free. Do you believe in them giving psycho meds to children?
You know, Free
Say that, yes.
Do you believe in them giving psycho meds to children?
Yeah, I mean, it's a case-by-case basis. Some kids are just bad, but some kids do have mental issues. So it's a case-by-case basis. So, yeah, I have no problem. It should be on the parents. But if the parents was paying attention to their kids, they should be able to tell that their child is something a little off about their child. You know your child from birth. If you pay attention to your child, like my kids right now, I can tell when my kids are lying to me. I can tell when my kids are telling me the truth. I can tell when my kids is about to do something. I can tell when my kids is literally confused about a situation without saying anything. If you pay attention to your kids, you should know everything about them before they even have to open up their mouth. So it's really on the parents. The parents should be able to know it's something a little off about my child. And if a parent don't know that it's something off about their child, it's because they're not spending any time with their children.
I'm gonna give y'all that one.
We talking about
remember, we came up.
I'm talking about they putting 10-year-olds on Ritalin. Then they had this
Ritalin
other
ain't
stuff.
out no more.
Dude, I'm talking about back then.
Just like back in our day.
They put you on Ritalin. Then they put you on this
the Depakote. They put you on all type of stuff.
No,
and we all did it. And then
but you remember they had one medicine they give you where you just like a zombie. You drew it.
That's Depakote.
That's that Thorazine. That's that Thorazine. That's the Thorazine.
You a sick dude, man. You want this stuff like this funny, man. You sick, man.
Hey,
you sick.
nah, BBO, it ain't funny, but y'all gotta all remember one thing. We came up in a time. Your parents came up in the 60s and 70s. Our parents was teenagers.
That's a good.
Come on, man. Our parents was teenagers at a time where nothing was created for them to be successful as parents. So we can't look at them the same way we look at ourselves. We got options. We got different pathways. We got the highway to knowledge. Our parents ain't had a highway to none of that stuff. So they did the best. They did the best they could with the best they had. We talking about our parents was told to go be a janitor or be a locksmith. That was what the goal was when you get out of high school, be a trash man, a janitor, or a locksmith. Come on, man. So why you think they turned? Yeah. Why you think that the ones who was a little slicker than that turned to being dope boys, turned to being pimps, and all that type of stuff? Because the system was not designed for them to ever be nothing.
You know, I'll say this one thing, and people don't, and I get what you're saying, Free and Bernard, but I don't think they understand like that medicine changes people. And you know, rest in peace to my homeboy Malachi. I remember, man, the brother had schizophrenia, and they just kept putting him on meds, and unfortunately, you know, he ended up, you know, getting out there in the streets and losing his life. And it's like, when I think about that situation, I always think like, y'all gave him schizophrenia. He didn't have that. Y'all gave that to him. From locking him in, they would put kids in it's not called solitary when you're a kid. I can't think of what it is, but basically they put you in the room. The box. That's what it is. And they keep you in there. They keep you in there for 48, 72 hours without no conversations, nothing. Yeah. And the dude start talking to himself and develop schizophrenia. Yeah. Start cutting himself, all this wild stuff, right? And I get what y'all saying. I think it just sometimes that stuff make people worse.
You know what? And that sounds crazy, but that actually happens. I remember they had me in a box for over 72 hours by myself. I'm shooting hoops with myself, having conversations. I'm like, it got so bad, y'all. And I'm like, because I ain't ashamed of whatever, bro. But they had young white dudes in the camp, right? And they was breaking the pills down, snorting them. And then you start seeing brothers doing it. I'm talking about snorting the pills. And I'm just like, bro, this is crazy. What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? We walking around talking about psych meds, Scobie, while we supposed to be yelling out something else. We talking about psych meds, Scobie's like we proud to be on psych meds. Man, we went in there a certain way and we came out worse. Just period. We came out worse.
I think, you know, and I think the only thing that ever helped me, and I always say this, was my grandmother's refusal to come see me. I wouldn't have changed or been a better person if my grandmother had that will. And I still, God rest her soul, I think she was wrong for that. But my baby wouldn't come see me. And that's changed everything for me because and this gonna sound crazy, but I felt like that was the first time I ever felt it like I'm done loving you until you get yourself together.
You know what? Let me add on to that, BVO. I remember times, bro. Like I said, I went in, I was 15, I got out, I was 17 and a half, bro. Mm-hmm. I remember I seen my mama once, bro. I remember it went times like 4 or 5 months, 6 months. I don't even have a number to call. I just get an anonymous letter. Oh, this mom's number, probably talk to her once, how you doing, and get back to doing what I'm doing. But I remember my mom came to visit me one time. That was like the happiest day of my life, bro. And it kind of broke my heart because she said she gonna come back and see me, and she never came back until I went home. At that point in time, I was 16. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see my mom for a long time. No phone calls, no nothing. But that hard love, I think I needed it because I think that's what got myself together and say, you know what, I'm tired of this, bro. I turned 4 months into this, I'm good.
You can turn.
So y'all recognize y'all both said the same thing, right? You recognize y'all both said the same thing. Both of y'all said it wasn't without incredible heartfelt loss that it made you want to change and be out here and stay good. So y'all just proved the point that we said that without that loss, you would have. If BBO said, "Grandma said I ain't come back to see you." When he was on the street before he got incarcerated, he would see grandma every day. But yeah, grandma, come back to mom. Oh yeah, grandma, and he'd go out there and do some real crazy stuff, real quick, because he knew he was gonna see grandma tomorrow. But the minute he lost the ability to see grandma tomorrow, and she reinforced it by saying, "You won't see me till you get it together," then he realized he lost something. For us to change, when I say us, I'm talking about the real people who need to be incarcerated for some amount of time. For us to change, we got to have incredible loss. Because without incredible loss, we don't see the sense in changing.
That's a good point. and we got to get back to Bill Haney because I don't know how we get on this stuff and you think about all the stuff you've been through. But I'll just say this. You know, that's I hate to say that is true, but when they look at you and tell you you're an animal, man, I think that's not good for your confidence. I remember, man, I had got a job. I was working at a grocery store, and I was so excited about the grocery store job because I got it. I was doing what I was supposed to do, but I was just a few months removed from them, like, trying to make it seem like I was an animal. And it's like, I think people don't understand this. You can't tell. Words have power. When you tell these kids that they animals or they can't control. My favorite thing was they like tell you have no self-control. And they used to get me hot when they would say that. And it's like,
did she come to the grocery store and tell you was animal? Did she come to the grocery store and tell you was animal? She waited till you was already behind a cage to tell you was animal, right? Okay, I just wanted to make sure that she didn't come to the grocery store, because that would have been an incredible hit to your confidence if she came to the grocery store and called you an animal. But once you got behind that cage, she only reflected her conversation on what she saw.
You know what's crazy? Why you say that, Coach? I'm gonna tell you something else that was so crazy. I was in there so long, bro. I seen rookie cops come in there, and when we go into court, they didn't know how to shackle people up. I was teaching him how to shackle me up because I've been there so long. To where when I finally went home, and I was in Long Beach court, bro. I finally went home. That dude came to me, the same bus driver that used to drive us to camp, drive us back. The staff, we call him staff. He said, Damone, I watched you grow up in here. I watched you literally grow up in here. Seen you coming here since you was 13, get out 14, get out 15, and now you finally going home. Make something of yourself. Do you know how sad that is to watch a person say, I watched you grow up in here?
Yeah. But now that you understanding that, man, that'd be hard on the count.
I watched you grow up in here. That's crazy.
That stuff be hard. But you know what? Shout out to Bernard, because he said something that was funny, and me and Miss BDO both laughed about it. He's like, man, you was a psycho. And I had to think about it. Stuff I was doing was psycho stuff. You don't just attack people, or you don't do that stupid stuff, man, or just I was doing a lot of stupid stuff. And I think about it now, I was a real cornball to even try to be that type of dude. I always been a church going guy. And for me, because I was scared of them dudes I was around, I was going to show them I wasn't scared by being extra over the top. And I look at myself now and say, oh, you an idiot. Because you know what's funny? Most of those guys are dead or in prison. I know that sounds crazy, but those dudes that I was always attacking, and you know what it was? I think about it now. The dudes I was going at with, they was like 5 and 6 years older than me. I had no business in their face anyway. I should have took my behind down to the candy store where everybody else was. Or played basketball behind the library. But no.
But you was old 6'5". You was old 6'5", nigga. Want to show people you big. That's what it was. I told you, man. They don't label us, brother. I don't take myself out of the conversation. They don't label us. They got a bunch of labels on the wall that other people did, and that's how they created the label. Then they just put you under a category based on what you did that was simulated what the person who created the label did. That's all.
That's a fact. But let me ask you, we go back to this boxing. Let me ask you this, D-Free. Do you think that more people are signed with Bill Haney now after what you see what he done with Devin? Because I think people laugh when I say this. T.O. should sign with Devin Haney. I mean with Bill Haney. Do you think more guys are signed with Bill Haney now?
No. I think if anybody's going to sign with Bill Haney, it's going to be a up and coming amateur coming into the pros. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be any of his contemporaries signing with Bill
Haney. What would you say, Prize?
I mean, to be honest with you, if you think about it, it's really no need to. These guys are all making a name for themselves on their own. Mm-hmm. There's really no need for them to sign with Bill Haney.
Yeah, I would say no. Like, it'd have to be somebody young. But, behind the scenes, like he did tell Terrence Crawford to go after Canelo. So, but he might be more of a matchmaker or something like that versus somebody actually signing with him. That's how I think that would go.
I say this: if you want the blueprint, you follow Bill Haney, whether you sign with him or not. I think that's the blueprint that everybody needs to follow, especially if you got a beast in your corner. You know how to get your own money, and you know how to be in them rooms. So Bill Haney should write a book that we all should pick up. You know what I'm saying? And if you in that business in the boxing world, then you know what I'm saying. I think that's the way you need to go. It sounds like the best way to me.
It only works if you got a monster.
Right.
If Devin Haney was a duck, we would not know Bill Haney. Devin Haney is the catalyst for that. If Floyd Mayweather couldn't fight, 99% of people would not know Floyd Mayweather Sr. And we damn sure wouldn't know Leonard Ellerbe. Remember, Leonard Ellerbe started out holding the bucket. And when Floyd became great, he became the president of Mayweather Promotions. At the end of the day, if you ain't got a great fighter, and I give Bill 100% of the credit and 100% of the respect. Bill had a plan, like the brother Shane said. Bill stuck to the plan. But that plan only worked because he had a talented son that he put in the right situations. I could take a kid with no talent, have Bill Haney do the exact same step-for-step move, and the kid wouldn't have came out of Mexico 15-0.
That's a fact. But
you gotta have talent, and I understand that. I do that with my son. Man, you think we can run around here, switching promoters, B saying we a free agent if Jalil could fight? Man, I'd be signing with the first dude that will give us some money.
You know, it's funny. This is the thing I'll tell you about Bernard. he don't know who he came under. Because one thing I'll tell you this, people don't never give Gary, and I'm not saying this because Bernard's my guy, we all know that. But I always, when I start studying Gary Sr., the stuff he's able to do with his sons, bro, it's second to none. It's second to none. And I think from what I've heard from Bernard, he got that same type of thing. Because all Jaleel got to do is get a world title. And the floodgates going to open. Because a lot of guys I'm loaning to are limited because of who their coaching is. And I wanted to ask you, because we got you on here, and this is not, we're going to have him on the show next week so we're going to better answer for himself. But when you think about the criticism that Brian Norman Sr. is getting as far as his coaching, is that fair? You think fair or foul? What would you say, Coach?
Fair. Let me be honest about it. When to the victor go the spoils. If you are not victorious, somebody got to be the GOAT. Remember, the GOAT got two accolades: the top and the bottom. Either you the GOAT, greatest of all times, or you're the GOAT, the scapegoat. Them the only two positions. Them the only two positions that a coach can hold. Them the only two positions that a coach can hold. When it all go right, you are the greatest of all time. When it all goes wrong, you the scapegoat. Because nobody ever fires the athlete. They fire the coach. They figure the athlete can be fixed. Remember this, man. A shark can only grow as large as the environment he has to live. So if you have a fighter who has immense capability and talent, but you have a limited knowledge coach, that fighter can only grow as large as that coach's ability. It can't grow any bigger. You know, and I think Brian and his dad will learn from this. Mm-hmm. I think they'll come back better. I'm gonna tell you that I think they'll come back at 154. I think after the way that ended, they've kind of exhausted everything they can do at 147. Just based on the way that fight went, nobody wants to see it again. And the four major players at that division, there's too many avenues for them to make the game fit what they need. Once those 140s, like the big names, the Devins, the potential Shakurs, the Keishans, now that division is about to be flooded with a lot of those guys. If you don't carry the name recognition, why would I fight you? You know, so I think Brian Norman will come back as a better version of himself, but I think it'll be at 154.
Let me ask you
the coach got to eat that.
Let me ask you this, Free, and then we're going to go to the same and then prize. Do you think it's fair for everybody to blame Brian Norman Sr. for his coaching job? Because I watched the tape. He was saying things in the corner as, he knocked you down. Now you got a fight on your hands. And I'm wondering, did he leave too much in the middle to be determined, or do you think him and his son got that kind of telepathic thing, knowing this is what I want you to do?
I mean, well, for the part of that question, I mean, they can't blame nobody else but Brian Norman Sr. for his coaching job. Brian Norman Sr. is the coach. You got to blame him for his coaching job. Now, did he give the right instruction? That's one's opinion. Some people might say, "Oh, he gave the right instructions. Brian Norman Jr. just didn't follow through." Or some people might say he gave the wrong instruction. It all depends on how you look at the instruction. Now, I would say he gave a broad statement when he said, "Oh, now you got to go get him." He didn't give him the instructions how to go get him. Is what he should have did, in my opinion. If you got dropped, all right. Get yourself back together. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. You can't do this. You can't let him do this. And so he didn't give the actual instructions of what to do. He just, now you gotta go get him. So I think that was a broad statement, but I mean, I'm not gonna blame him on his coaching style. It just didn't work that night because it got him to where he was at. It just didn't work that night.
Yeah. What would you say, Insane? And y'all smash the like button, man. Let's make sure that the super chat works. Man, somebody hit that super chat. Let's make sure that button still works.
Yeah. So I believe yes, but he's getting the criticism not because of the coaching. I think it was the things that he said outside of the ring and before the fight. All the, oh, I'm the top coach, I got this, I'm better than Bill Haney and all the stuff that he was talking. If he was more quiet, you know what I'm saying, then he wouldn't get judged so harsh the way he's getting judged. He was loud. So now that you were loud, everybody's loud at you. Now we're putting a magnifying on what you were saying. Yes, it's his fault, but it wouldn't be so amplified if he wasn't running his mouth so much, and they would be putting it on Brian Norman Jr. instead of the coach. They're not putting it on Brian Norman Jr. that he went in there, you know what I'm saying, whether his coach gave him good plans or not, good fighting schemes or not. You was in there fighting, bro. You knew what you had to do. You knew the adjustments you had to make. F what he talking about, what you had to do, but you were so loud, Brian Norman Sr., that now there's the magnifying glasses on you, and every word you said before that fight, after that fight, and during that fight, it's times 100 now because you brought that on yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like how they did. It's kind of how they did like Bill when Dev got cheated with Ryan. A lot of people criticize Bill in a Loma fight, but he's doing a good job with his son. Brian Norman, they didn't have their game plan. Their game plan was what I said. If their game plan is to knock Devin Haney out, they're not going to win. And that's what it looked like they did. And when he felt Devin's power, he abandoned his game plan. He totally threw it out the window in round 2. And he was just fighting off instinct. Like, oh, I got to fight this mofo right now. You know what I mean? Game plan was horrible. I give that whole situation, it wasn't right for B. Norman Jr. And B. Norman Sr. did look like a novice in the corner a little bit, but I know he knows probably more, he knows more about boxing than me, but still, he looked like a novice in there. He wasn't, like Free said, he didn't tell him what to do. You know what I mean? And they was just fighting off instinct, and that was the wrong game plan. And Devin came prepared to get hit with big shots. And when then Brian Norman did catch him with a big shot, he took it very well at welterweight.
Yeah, I'll say this, man. It just leaves more to be desired. I think you can come back from it, but let me ask you this too, Free, and I'm gonna ask everybody the same question. Is it just because Brian Norman Sr. is still young in the game? Because I feel like you can't accept anything in the win that you won't accept in the loss. And I feel like in a win, you heard him in the corner say, you got to figure it out. And when I said that kind of raised red flags, people gave me a lot of flack for that. But at the biggest time of his career, he really had like no audible directions for him that made sense. So I'm just wondering, and salute to my brother saying that I'm reading this comment. Man, Dave said Brian Norman Senior got him beat point blank. Bad coaching. Would you guys say it was bad coaching or just a guy who didn't realize he was coaching against Virgil Hunter? That was you got to remember that part too.
I would say it's partially. I would say 90% of it is because he's inexperienced at the big moment. He never been in the big moment. I mean, whenever they did face adversity, for the most part, Brian Norman Jr. got the knockout. So they were so used to this is the first time that they really have to go back to the drawing board as a team and say, okay, that didn't work. We gotta do better next time. So 90% of it is the inexperience from the fighter and the coach because they never been in that moment where they was on the losing end and they didn't have no way to come back. Like usually when Brian Norman gets knocked down or when he lose a couple of rounds here and there, he fights his way back and he usually lands a big shot and hurt his opponent or at least put the fear in his opponent. He wasn't able to do that. He was in there with a guy that had better IQ, better defense, better footwork. So he wasn't able to do that. So now they got to go back to the drawing board, look at the video, and look at the mistakes that they made and say, okay, next time we get into this situation, we know what not to do, and we know what we need to work on. So it's 90% experience, but it's also 10% pride. I believe they thought because they was the bigger guy, they fought at 47 majority of their career. They thought that they can go in and overpower Devin Haney. They thought they was going to be able to overpower him. So it was 90% inexperience and 10% pride is the reason why they lost that fight.
I'm gonna ask you this and saying that I'm gonna ask you this, Price. So can they really blame the coach? Because Brian Jr. didn't make no real. Well, I'll take that back. He took the jab away. When he took the jab away, was it because he didn't recover from the knockout well that he wasn't able to take advantage? Because he actually took Devin's jab from him.
Okay, now the thing is this, and I'm gonna combine both the questions. Understanding you're not the smartest person in the room. That's the first step. Understanding that you can't do this on your own. Understanding what's in front of you. You didn't understand what was in front of you. You was listening to everybody else. You was listening to everybody else. All the negative people. You listen to all the negative things about Devin Haney and none of the things he's actually capable of. So you didn't make a plan for Devin Haney. You made a plan for what you thought was going to be. Oh, he ran the Ramirez fight. He must be scared. Oh, he don't have no power, so we can knock him out. Oh, we can just walk straight through him. Understanding you're not the smartest person in the room is the first step. You should have brought another coach in to teach you what you didn't know. You should have brought some real people and had some real people around you to teach you something that you don't know. He didn't have all the answers for his son. His son didn't have the answers. So you did take the jab away from you, but you didn't know that Devin Haney had a plan A, B, C, D, E, and F. Understanding you're not the smartest person in the room is the first step to greatness. The first steps to greatness, right? I don't know arithmetic. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hire a person that knows arithmetic to teach me arithmetic. I'm gonna have the right people around me. Understanding you're not the smartest person in the room is the first step. Brian Norman Sr. still, even as today, doesn't understand you're not the smartest person in the room. We need other ears and eyes in here to teach him something different. Because all you did was rely on his knockout power. That was it. And when you didn't get the knockout, you had no BC, you had no plans after that. You had nothing. You didn't realize that it was greatness standing in front of you. Understanding you're not the smartest person in the room is the first key. And that's all I got on that.
What about you, Prime? What you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I already said it. The game plan was horrible. And I don't think that he took Devin's jab away. I just think Devin just stopped throwing his jab. I don't think Brian Norman did anything. You know, I gave him, I think, round 1, 10, and something else maybe. I think Devin Haney was trying to find something, maybe go for a stoppage. I don't know, but I don't even think B. Norman took his jab away. And it's popping them. You know, they gotta look at the tape, go back.
Well, I said that because
Devin
did, and not to interrupt you, probably, but Devin did say he made some adjustments, so it kind of made it harder.
He said, he did, because B. Norman was still dangerous, and Devin stuck to his game plan. You feel me? He gonna always stick to his game plan. He learned a lesson: stick to your game plan, and that's what he did.
He's the best at that. He's the best at that.
If he sticks to his game plan, bro, you got to catch him. That's the only way you can beat him.
And speaking of that, and this is the funny thing. This is the funny thing, man. He said Dev had Stitch in his corner. Yeah, Uncle Stitch will be here next week, so you'll get to see Uncle Stitch on the program. And having Uncle Stitch was cool, but I just think like the game plan was just so crazy because we seen him try to box a boxer. Now I understood that Brian has some fast feet, but let me ask you guys this, because I don't want to be negative, but that's my guy. Who should he fight next? Who would you guys want to see him fight next? That's my question. Would you want to see him fight Lewis Crocker? Would you want to see him? I would love to see him versus Jack Catterall. Who would you want to see him against?
Jack Catterall would destroy him. I would want to see him go back. I think so, definitely. I really believe so.
He went life and death. Who was that dude he went life and death with? Hermano, or what was his name? Something. Dude,
I know you're talking about his last fight. You talking about his last fight?
The one he
we
just
talking
had.
about Brian Norman, free?
No, Jack
No,
Catterall.
you're talking about Jack Catterall.
That's what.
Nah,
Oh yeah,
Jack Catterall's not that good. I think Brian Norman will stop Jack
yeah.
Catterall.
Me too. I think it'll beat him
These
up.
are the same thing. This is the same thing that we just said, and then we seen something different. Brian Norman is chinny. We haven't seen that. He has no chin. We've seen that in so many fights, and I said it on everybody's platform. When he get hit with a little bit more power, he's going down. And what happened? He went down. He needs to start from the basics. Go back to fighting them 10 10-round fights, bro, and get your wind up. Get you some skills up under you, and then step your game up. Don't fight no more. Don't fight no more of them dudes on that level. I'm telling you what God loves, bro. You can get better. You 24 years old, 22 years old. You have room to grow, but understanding that you need more coaches around you. Your father did good. He got you to a point. Now you have to get over. You have to get over the hump. When you go to college, you just don't have one professor. You have many. We learn from many people. Learn from somewhere else, sharpen up your skills. The power is going to carry with you. Then you go into those fights. But don't go into no fights until you learn something new.
Yeah,
I mean, to be honest
go
with
ahead.
you, all of those guys at 147, outside of the top guys, are pretty much right around each other. I mean, Jack Catterall is probably somebody he needs to win, because Jack Catterall, like I said, Jack Catterall is nobody special. Jack Catterall is a C-level opponent. He's a C-level opponent. So it's not like Jack Catterall is a world beater. Everybody's giving Jack Catterall praise because they thought that he beat Josh Taylor the first time. But since then, Jack Catterall hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything since then.
He got beat up
I
to
mean,
me for
if you're being honest, Jack Catterall hasn't done anything outside of that Josh Taylor fight. He hasn't done anything.
I agree, but what I'm saying is he needs to get in the swing of things, needs to build his confidence back up. So a couple of tune-up UK fighters just to get the confidence back in you, just to get the monster, just to put the monster back where he needs to be at. Because you're gonna need some confidence after a fight like that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jack Catterall is
Jack Catterall's perfect then.
Yeah, Jack Catterall is fucking insane. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm putting 5,000 on Jack Catterall. I'm sorry, y'all put 5,000 on that.
You lose your money.
This the same thing This is the same thing y'all just
said
about the Devin Haney fight. It's the same thing.
Put your money up.
Jack Catterall walked right to him.
This is the same thing y'all just said. Free, your phone messing up. Free your phone messing up.
Yeah, we can't hear what you're saying, Free.
Your phone messing up.
Your phone messing up. Yeah.
Hold up. All right.
Yeah, my man.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. That crooked wireless.
I was saying Jack Catterall is the perfect opponent. You better not bet no money on Jack Catterall. You're gonna be going home broke.
You're crying.
Bet money on Jack Catterall if you want to, you're gonna go home broke.
Hey, hold on.
Yeah,
can I put this out here just for 1 second? Can I put something out there? Hey, BVO.
Yeah.
If you were to pick a streaming service that you like to watch the most, like what would it be?
Probably Netflix. I like Netflix. It just don't never have nothing on I want to see.
You know, Netflix got some good movies and some good shows, man. Maybe a lot of people need to check Netflix out, man. Netflix. But back to the show. My fault, Beef. I just need to know how you felt about, you know what I'm saying, streaming services.
Yeah.
That was super random.
He said, I like to see him fight Tiger Johnson.
No.
Tiger.
Bob Ehrman's not going to put Tiger Johnson. Bob Ehrman's not going to put Tiger Johnson in there with him. So that's a no. He's not going to do
it. And one thing about Tiger Johnson, people don't understand. They started to spend some money on him. I think he could be good. He got some work to do. Brian will probably knock Tiger out right now, but that don't mean that he won't be better in the future. But for him to fight Tiger Johnson, he had to fight somebody a little better than that. But that being said, do you guys agree with the thing of people trying to throw him away
because I'm just wondering, and maybe I'm being messy. Forgive me about this, but it seemed like the people who was rooting for him was all the Tank Davis fans, because I don't know how Tank came into this equation, but
They
as soon as
definitely
Tank
was.
won, I even seen a couple of young ladies get on their channel and say, I don't have to feel the way you feel about Devin. In my opinion, I think Devin is had a C performance or a B performance, and when I heard her say that, I was thinking to myself, the hate is crazy. The hate is crazy. I mean, what more do he got to do?
I wouldn't say, if somebody say he had a B performance, I would ask, what was you looking for it to be an A? And if they gave me a realistic assessment of what it would have been to get an A, I can't say it's hate. I just say, okay, they looking for something different, because, like I said, I say Devin Haney put on an A+ performance. I take that back. He put on an A performance. To make it an A+, he should have stopped Brian Norman, but he didn't. So I give him an A. He definitely got an A. But I will say there was room for improvement. So for a person to say that they gave him a B, if there was room for improvement, I can understand why they gave him a B. I said it's an A because what I saw is it deserves an A. But somebody else might be a little more harder on him. So they might say, no, that was a B, because I think he could have did this, he could have did that, he could have did this. That would have got him an A. Then I can't be mad at
Well,
that.
that grading thing is subjective.
But see, what I don't get, though, it's my question, Free. Why is it a B performance when you see a guy take a chance? That's the thing I'm trying to understand. He took a chance.
It's a B performance because even though he took a chance, if a person say, I seen Devin Haney be much better than that, because he took a chance, it still wasn't his best performance. It was a chance that he took, and he was successful. But if somebody said, I seen him be much better than that or perform much better than that, then yeah, he took a chance, but it wasn't his best performance.
Yeah, I guess I'm just confused on what fans are actually looking for. That's my question.
The only grade I would give Devin Haney in that fight is a W, because that's what he left with, the W. No matter how you got it, you got the W. Let's move on to the next fight. One thing that we have to understand, especially dealing with boxing and any type of sports, anyway, you're never gonna please everybody, because everybody is looking for something different. Everybody want to see pure defense. Everybody want to see boxing. A lot of people just want to see a knockout. A lot of people just want to see rock'em sock'em robot. You have a lot of different opinions out here, and approaches to the fight. But the only grade that you need when you leave the fight is a W, and that's the win, no matter how you got it.
Yep, absolutely.
Hey, I gotta agree with you and say what they say. That brother been at home thinking. But let me ask you guys this now. This BVO Sports TV, we gotta talk a little sports, man. Is it just me, or does the NBA seem like it's back? Is that just me?
We got a lot of young new stars in the NBA, which bringing a lot of attention to the NBA. We're going with the old guards and the LeBron James and the Chris Pauls. They're on their way to retirement, but these young guys, such as Anthony Edwards, you know what I'm saying, and the young boys up in the New York Knicks, and the young guy Cooper Flag, the Luka Doncic's, these guys are taking the NBA more global than it was, because back then, we barely had overseas players, and now you look in the NBA now, what they're going to try to do in the All-Star game is to have the United States versus the world. It's hard to find a Joel Embiid out there. You have what's the other center name? Jokic. You know what I'm saying, from these other places in the world. So it's bringing more eyes to the NBA, and these young dudes are showing up and showing out, especially the SGAs and at the Oklahoma City Thunder. You got. The NBA is changing, and it's changing for the better. Like I say, we're past the Kobe Bryant, LeBron James era, and we're ushering a new one of these young cats, and they're doing what they're supposed to do with the league.
What would you say, Prize and Free?
Yeah, the NBA is cool, but I like Wemby. I think he the goods. We still got Giannis. He hooping.
Y'all seen him dribbling? That I almost can't believe that this dude is that big dribbling the ball.
And like you said, we got them foreign boys out there. They going #1 all crazy. They taking over the damn whole draft.
Who?
Yeah.
Them foreign boys.
Yeah.
Foreign. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm so excited about Carlos Boozer's sons because man, we need some American talent. I'm gonna tell you this: the world in U.S. versus the world at the All-Star game, the USA gonna get blasted, bro. Because everybody is from somewhere else. Like SGA is from Canada. He's not from here.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize that he's not from here.
I think with the stuff that we do have, like you got to remember, Ant-Man is from here. Julius Randle is from here. The point guard from the New York Knicks, light skinned short cat. Why is his name? Steph Curry's from here.
Bronner.
Bronson. Bronson. And don't forget, we still got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You know, those dudes are from the States. We have some young talent in the States. He got
a torn ACL.
I'm just mentioning their names.
Oh, we got Maxey out here dropping 50.
Max.
What's the boy? Cade Cunningham.
Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, Cade Cunningham
Yeah, from Detroit. He's
Detroit.
Nice.
I mean, we got some
some dogs. Are they gonna play though?
In the States? As far as the Boozer boys, you got one of the Boozer boys. He's averaging 21 points per game. The other one is only averaging 4 points per game. But I think he can.
My bad. I meant Cameron Boozer. Let me correct that. Cameron Boozer.
Yeah.
And don't sleep on Carmelo's son. Carmelo's son be hooping too. He had a bad game the other day, but
he looked just like Carmelo. Man, it's hilarious. He's just not athletic. But he shoot that ball just like Melo, man.
Man, definitely.
But he's not athletic at all.
He got a nice jumper.
Would y'all draft him high? Because Cayenne, to me, is a liability on defense. He's not even a willing defender. And I feel like with Cayenne, there's no great athleticism with him. His upside is that he can only score.
I'm drafting him higher than I'm drafting Bronny James for sure.
Oh, there you go.
Give him a year or two to develop, and I guarantee he's going to be the second coming of Carmelo Anthony. Because y'all got to remember, the game is built different to where it was in the 90s.
Yo, look how they did Rob Dillingham dirty and saying he should be on somebody's roster.
I'm gonna tell you, based off of what you just said, BBO, the man can score. I'm drafting him, and I'm getting him immediately with my defensive coach and build up his defense. He already can score. We just need to work on his defense.
Well, D-Free, let me hit you with this one though, D-Free. You have one of the highest paid point guards in the league, and i.e. one of the faces of the league, maybe one or two, and Luka Doncic, who don't play defense, who does not play defense.
But he don't win. That's why he don't win.
There's a lot of guys in the NBA right now that don't play defense. A lot of
guys. He don't win.
None of them.
Remember, a lot of
That's
guys
why you see 140 points on the board now. When we was young in the 90s, we didn't see no 140. You were lucky to see. Now that nobody plays defense.
Hold on, Jonathan. We sending you to the trash, you cupcake. Get out of here, man. Never come back. Go to the trash. Never come here again with that cupcake stuff. You going to the trash, man.
That was crazy.
Some dude came in here talking crazy, man.
Yeah, just ignore him. Keep it moving, but
enjoy the trash can.
Just block them. But at the end of the day, these dudes nobody play defense, and everybody shoots 30 to 43s a game.
Not true. That's not true. SGA play defense.
Man, you got a couple of them. Ant-Man play defense.
You got a few guys that play defense, but there's a lot of people in the NBA right now that don't play no defense. I mean, you got a few guys.
These guys are getting.
I believe Jason Taylor played defense. I believe Jaylen Brown played. No, Jaylen Brown
does.
Okay, Jaylen Brown plays defense.
Brunson a little bit, but Brunson's so small that he's kind of. He can
only play the passing lane. He can only play the passing.
Yeah, he kind of ineffective, but he do try. I ain't gonna.
He's a willing defender. Yeah, he's a willing defender. I give him that.
Could we agree on this that these guys are being penalized for being defensive player, i.e. Jared Vanderbilt and other players that's just strictly defense and not
he can't
too much
score
offense.
though. Jared can't score.
Right.
That's his problem. He can't score.
This is the reason why. This is the reason why I look at these guys nowadays different than I look at the guys from the Michael Jordan era, because these guys are playing against individuals that don't play defense. Literally can't do nothing. As soon as you touch a person, that's a foul. They don't play no defense nowadays. So I gotta look at everybody. Oh, but this man scored. On what defense? What defense is being put on him to say, okay, yeah, this man would have scored on him. He would have scored on him. I seen Reggie Miller play and score 11 points. And scored 11 points in what? I think it was like 9 seconds. This man scored 11 playing defense.
No, that was T-Max. That was T-Mac.
Nah, T-Mac dropped like 20.
It was like he's talking about
T-Mac dropped like 17.
Hold on. Let me say this. He's talking about when he played the New York Knicks. When he played
in the playoffs.
Knicks.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the playoffs.
Scored 11 points in like 9 seconds. That man shot 3 threes and shot a 2-pointer. Shot 3 threes and a 2-pointer because he kept stealing the ball. Every time they inbounded it, he stole it. And stole it. Shot a 3. Stole it. Shot a 3.
Right.
They were playing defense.
And that was the craziest play, because the thing, him and Mark Jackson years later would be on the same team and go to the finals versus my Lakers. It was crazy, man, because that's who kept stealing the ball from. But I'll say this. The Oklahoma City Thunder, man, they look unbeatable. And at one point, they were 17-1. And I don't think nobody's beating them in the NBA. They probably going to go back-to-back. And then when they lose their center, then they'll come back to earth.
I think there's comparable teams out there, i.e. the Lakers and other teams that can beat them. It's just
we don't play no D.
What's going on in Oklahoma? Hold on.
The Lakers definitely can beat them.
Y'all gotta understand what's going on in the league right now. SGA is getting a favorable whistle right now. So once SGA is matched with another guy who gets a favorable whistle, i.e. a LeBron James or Luka Doncic, then it offsets each other. Then we just gotta play ball then. But he gets a favorable whistle. Steph, I remember when the rise of the Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry got a favorable whistle, and what ended up happening was Clay ended up getting it, and they got KD. So everybody was getting favorable whistles. Understand that's what builds an NBA superstar, that favorable whistle, i.e. James Harden. James Harden would get to the line 50 times a game. I'm exaggerating, but he'd get to the line so much.
He shoot 23 throws a game.
Right.
Hey, but let me ask you guys this. I'm going to switch to football.
Okay.
When you guys think about what we've seen with the Cowboys coming from 21 down to beat the Eagles, and I honestly can say the Eagles didn't play bad. What's going on with their defense? What would you guys say? What's going on with the Eagles defense?
They're on the field too much. And that's why my voice is out, because I was screaming at that game.
They could. Now, y'all got to understand, they
can't stay off the damn field.
The second half, Dallas Cowboy defense actually stepped up. They actually stepped up, and they stopped Philadelphia Eagles from scoring. But another thing is, Philadelphia Eagles kept shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah,
they had a fumble. They had a fumble. Turned around, stopped Dallas. Dallas pointed it up, and they got another fumble on the punt return. So they kept shooting themselves in the foot. It wasn't nothing that the Eagles was doing, and they kept shooting themselves in the foot. So the defense is on the field. They like, man, and then they had a lot of injuries on defense. They lost Blankenship in that game. They lost a couple of linemen in that game. I think they lost a linebacker in that game. People was dropping down left and right. So it's not that they played bad. It was just a case of the defense being left on the field, and they was missing players throughout that game. So you got 2 wide receivers, and to be honest with you, the game could have been a lot worse if CeeDee Lamb know how to catch the ball. This man got butterfingers like a mug. That man don't know how to catch the ball. I remember I had this argument. I had this argument with, I think it was Knockout a couple of years ago. We was talking about who got the best hands, CeeDee Lamb or Terry McLaurin. I was like, Terry McLaurin. He like, man, you crazy. I said, dog, CeeDee Lamb is butterfingers. What are you talking about? That man stays dropping the ball. That man is butterfingers. You giving this man $40 million? He cried because that first guy threw the ball and hit him in the numbers. He wanted him to throw it up high. Like, what? wasn't low. It wasn't behind you. It hit you directly in the 88, and you just dropped it. And you try to complain about Dak Prescott throwing the ball in the wrong spot. The defender never touched the ball. It just hit your chest and then hit the ground. He's Butterfinger.
Remember though, it's no more Jerry Rice's out there, no more Randy Moss. Just put it in the air. I don't care where you throw it at, just throw it. All those guys are gone. So you have the divas now coming into the league, i.e.
What about Jetta? You don't think Jetta's like that? I think you can throw it up to Jetta.
Nah, it's still some good. It's still some guys out there, some definitely quality guys. You got guys like Justin Jefferson. You got
Jetta. Yeah, he's nice. He's nice.
Chase. You got guys like Jamal Chase. You got guys like my guy from the Giants that's down for the year. That played with
Neighbors, Malik Neighbors.
Malik Neighbors. You got guys like Devontae Adams still out there. It's some quality guys out there. It's just these guys. You got a lot of guys that claim they the guy when they really not. They claim they are, but they really not.
Right. But like I remember seeing, Jerry Rice like just throw it up, Randy Moss, throw it up, Chris Carter, and all these guys, just put it in the air and I'm gonna go get it. You know what I'm saying? Now, put it right here, put it right here. That's a sign that, you know what I'm saying, you ain't got the hands that you think you got. You know what I mean? That's a sign of weakness to me. But hey, I'm a Raider fan, so what do I know?
I ain't gonna lie, man. When it came to Chris Carter, he definitely didn't say throw it in the air because he was possession receiver. But I think he was the best ever possession receiver. But let me ask you guys this.
But look at Ocho Cinco though. Ocho Cinco and TJ Houshmandzadeh. Just put it in the air. Just put it in the air.
And that's what Carson did.
Let me ask you guys this. What do you guys think about Jamar Chase coming out with a statement saying that spitting on another NFL player doesn't have any place in the NFL? Do you think he was right to do that, or you think it's because he missed $100,000 that game?
Spitting on anybody. Spitting on anybody. Boy,
that's assault, bro.
Man, boy, that's a boy.
You can go to jail if you spit in my face and I call the police. Assault. That's assault, bro. You assault for that, man.
But what I want to say is, it's not just assault, but you might not make it home.
You a cold piece of work.
You spit on me, bro. You might not make it home, bro. That's the nastiest thing you can do in the world.
Hey, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Depending on where you at when you do it, it might be a felony.
That's a good point.
If you in DC, that's a felony. No matter what you do.
It's a federal felony in DC. Federal.
Hey, salute to my brother Ohio Rounds Boxing in the house. Salute to my brother Marcus. I'm gonna drop the link for you.
What's going on, Ohio?
Hey, we back. We did it again.
Chase,
go ahead.
Jamal Chase, he was right to acknowledge, but I think he only acknowledged because he was punished. If he was never punished, he wouldn't have acknowledged it. That's the only problem I had. You wait until you get punished to acknowledge that you did something wrong. You didn't.
But remember, he lied about it. He lied about it. Y'all remember? I don't know if y'all remember. He lied
you didn't come out and say, "Oh, my bad. I shouldn't have did that. I was wrong for doing that." He said, "I didn't do that," knowing that he didn't do it. So that's why I don't accept his apology. But he was right for saying what he said because he's absolutely correct. But I don't accept it because you only saying it because you got caught.
Let me ask you guys this.
Hey, brothers, I appreciate y'all letting me on. I got to go be a father. Man, I'll holler at y'all next time, man. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate it, brother.
All right, see you soon, man. Let me ask you guys this, man, which is something that got me. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see that Steelers game. What were they doing? They got the highest paid defense in the NFL and can't stop a water leak. What in the world is going on, man? Like that offense, do you see how that defensive line was getting pushed back? I'm thinking, y'all got all these Cameron Hayward, y'all got all these guys on here. What is going on? And the matchups was just awful, man. I don't know. The matchups was just awful to me. I'm just wondering, like, what is going on in Pittsburgh? because they spent the money on defense, and it seemed like they can't catch a break. Is it just me, or is that defense just too old?
Which team are you talking about again?
The Steelers game. I don't know if you've seen the Steelers game. They look.
Oh, I mean, the Steelers, they just too old. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it, the youngest person on that Steelers squad is probably the head coach. He's probably the youngest person on the squad. That's all I'm saying. But that's an old squad. I mean, they got a lot of older players on that squad. It's the same thing like with Washington Commanders. We got a lot of old veterans, and at some point, those old veterans are going to show their age. Yeah, they're going to be good for a while, but at some point, they're going to show their age. Like last year, the veterans was good last year. This year, they starting to show their age. So it's just you got to get younger and you got to get speed. If you don't have any speed on your defense, offense can get a or you can maneuver around and call plays to be able to get first downs and get touchdowns. But with defense, you got to be able to keep up with the other team. So with defense, if you don't have no speed on your defense is going to get beat up majority of the time on the field. Majority of the time, they're going to get beat up because they have no speed. They're not going to be able to run from sideline to sideline to catch that running back coming out of the backfield if they decide to do a sweep, or if they decide to run to the edge or do a zone run, or if they decide to do a wide receiver screen or a halfback screen. They're not going to be able to run sideline to sideline. They might be able to do it in the first quarter, but come the second, third, fourth quarter, they're going to be dead tired. They ain't going to be able to keep up with them.
And speaking of that, another game that just shocked me was, man, it seemed like, I don't know if it's just me, it seemed like the Patriots, man, might be the best team in the AFC. Am I wrong to think that?
Patriots
nah, you wrong. I would say the Colts. But they right there. They right up there, though. They right up there.
Patriots is balling. They well coached.
Yeah, I would definitely say they right up there. I think Tennessee Titans shot themselves in the foot when they got rid of Mike Vrabel. I think that was a bad move. He's a good coach. He just didn't have any talent around. I mean, they got rid of AJ Brown. I don't believe that was his doing. I believe that was the GM. And then they didn't have a quarterback. Daggone a wide receiver turned quarterback. He was good for some games, and in some games he showed that he's not truly a quarterback. What's his name? Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah,
that was his quarterback.
Ryan was good though. He was pretty good when they had him.
He was good for some games, and then other games you be like, yeah, I see why he's not running one of the top quarterbacks in the league. You have some games where he played well, but he's not a quarterback that you'll win a Super Bowl with. So I mean, he never really had no talent around, and the problem was they kept being the top of the division, so they couldn't get a high draft pick. They kept getting low draft picks because they kept winning the division because their division was so trash.
Yeah. And speaking of that, are you guys disappointed in what we're seeing from Cam Ward? I mean, he's been god awful on Tennessee.
The team is bad.
That's a good defense they got, brother. I don't know if you've seen
that offense is garbage.
It seems like two of the best defenses in the NFL, the Tennessee Titans. Two of the best defenses in the NFL, both to me, that got no offense. Tennessee Titans and my Browns. We might change with Shador, but they got some world-class defenses that's getting wasted.
Yeah. I will have to agree with you.
Because you can't run on the Titans. You can't even run on the Titans.
Right.
You might as well say you're not going to run. You're not going to run on the Titans.
The Titans have always been known for having a decent defensive squad. It was just their offense was up and down. One year they'll be good, the next year they'll be bad.
They haven't been consistent since Aaron McNair left. They really haven't been good since Aaron McNair. You can count maybe those few years with Vince Young, but it was only 2 years.
Yeah, but I've been saying it since the draft. I said Shador is going to prove a lot of people wrong. I said Shador can play. That man, all you got to do is put him in the game and give him a couple of receivers and an offensive line. He's going to show you that he is an NFL quarterback.
And that sorry coach y'all got didn't even acknowledge this damn kid after he won the game. And he's one of the first rookies to do that since I don't know when.
Since
When this first
1994. Yeah.
Right.
And we didn't have more quarterbacks than we didn't have USA presidents. So you got to remember, we didn't have a USA president for over 200 years, man. So I ought to tell you something about my Brownies. But we got one of the biggest haters of Shador Sanders in the house. My brother, Ohio Runs Boxing. He's one of the talking the worst about Shador. How you feeling, man?
What's good, y'all? You silly,
What up, Ohio?
man? What's been up?
What's going on, Marcus?
Yeah,
So
it's
let me
crazy.
ask you this, Mark. So we did it again. We seen Abdullah Mesa. I know you doubted him. I know you doubted him and Tiger. But they both became champions within the last 2 weeks. What do you think about that?
You silly. Tiger gonna be on his way, you know. So yeah, he definitely got a belt, you know, in the rankings. But yeah, I went to Saudi. You know, that was the first time I went to Saudi, and
Congrats.
I don't miss no Ohio world title fights, man. So it was a blessing to go to Saudi. But to be honest, you in no man's land, you know what I'm saying? But I enjoyed myself, man. I left on the Thursday, got down there. It was a 12-hour flight. It was 6 hours from Ohio to Germany, and then from Germany to Saudi is 6 hours. So it was but overall, man, enjoyed Abdullah. You know, I heard a lot of people talking about he got touched a lot. Yeah, I think he fought a fight that he didn't have to fight. With his skill set. And I gotta give Sam Noakes credit too, because you know he did keeper. He roughhoused it. He did try to force it. But if Abdullah was with a box, I would have been able to see if Sam was able to cut the ring off and force that. So I really can't say that because Abdullah gave up, you know, his reach and his you know, his boxing ability and just banged with him. So you know, it was an exciting fight. But I know he made that fight a lot closer than what it should have been, in my opinion. So. But then I'm starting to hear a lot of people say, "Oh man, he get touched way too much." And I said, "Well, damn, only the ones who said that. If they said that in this last fight and the fight before that, then they got a legitimate point. But they wasn't saying that. See, that's my thing. They pick and choose these guys' performances. They take one performance and become a prisoner of the moment and say, "This is who this guy is." I remember Josh Taylor fighting Regis Prograis in the pocket like that, and I'm telling people, Josh Taylor don't just bang on the inside like that. The dude can box. Well, if he just gonna stand there like that, he gonna get beat this, and I'm like, y'all gotta look at these guys' whole careers, man, and not just go by just this fight. Josh didn't just stand in there and bang with everybody. So I think Abdullah just he's young. He got a lot to still got a lot to learn in this game, man. So he just gonna have to mature, you know, and stick to the game plan when you can't hurt your opponent. He hurt him, but he didn't get him out of there, and that dude was still in there to fight. So sometimes you got to back up, reset, and box. You know, box. You know what I'm saying? So was it because he didn't stay going to the body? Was that the issue? No. It wasn't even just him stop going to the body. That was part of it, but I just think what I got out of it, the plus, let me tell you the positive I got out of it. Sam took him to the deep waters. I wanted to see Abdullah go past certain rounds, and he went to the deep waters. That was a plus. 2, Sam is durable. Never really been hurt in a fight. Abdullah hurt him multiple times. So Abdullah power is really there. I'm starting, just because you don't knock the guy out and you end on this, that doesn't mean you don't have power. He hurt a guy that ain't never been hurt before. So that was really a good sign too, leading into his next bouts. You know what I mean? So I those were 2 keys for me to see him hurt a guy, but you still box, because what happens is if you don't hurt the guy and keep him on a defensive mode, he's going to fight you back, and y'all in the pocket, and it's going to be close. You either going to win 115 or 113, or you're going to lose 113 to 115, similar to Charles Conwell. Charles did the same thing, fought a durable guy who he couldn't hurt, but he stayed in the pocket, did not jump out of that kitchen and just box and win some rounds conventionally. He wanted to stay close with this guy and go back and forth, and he lost 115, 113.
Did they know you was from Youngstown when you went to Saudi?
Man, I had the hat. I didn't know. I didn't. The service down there on my phone and iPad was horrible, bro. I was posting stuff, and I had to screenshot it so a lot of people could see. Like, man, I had stuff that was low, saying 10%. Then I had another video said 13%, 14%. So some of the videos was coming up 6 hours later. You know, I surprised a lot of people because nobody really didn't know I was going to Saudi. But it was horrible service from my stuff, man. It was really, really horrible. But I enjoyed it, man. I had one video I ain't posted yet where the guards had to go get the head security guy. They took a picture of my hat. It was like, who is this black guy with this hat? They had to go get the head security guy. And when he came up, you know, Saudi dude came up to me. He shook my hand, and all the other guards started smiling, like, "Oh, okay, he's good. Yeah, you're good." Like, yeah, I'm good.
Thank God. Thank God, bro. Hey, because I would hate to hear you got scraped over there, though.
Yeah, but I didn't have no real issues. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Another thing, experience was crazy. Was the when I came down there with my phone, I wanted to see certain things, so I get down there with my cell phone. Bruh, I said, let me see if I can turn on, look at some porn on my stuff. Nope. They shut that down. It's already safe locked. The moment you touch their country, your phone is on auto safe lock. You can't look at the only thing come up, if you can look at porn, it comes up porn addiction, teach you how to get over it. They got
that's crazy.
Hey, that's how you know my man Barker's a freak. The first thing he do when he get to Saudi, not get a bite to eat, not put a turban on.
I was listening. So listen, when I got down there, my phone, I can use Lyft sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I use Lyft in years because I drive in America. So my Lyft wasn't even on the map. I'm like, what's going on with my Lyft? And then they was telling me, I found out later that Uber was the only thing down there. So I had to get a taxi. Now here's the setup for me. They know a mark when they see it. All of them had the turban hat, you know, the turbans on their little head things. And they driving people. So they said, you need a ride. This dude kept pressing me. I said, wait, dude, I'm trying to find the address. Just, you know, give me a chance first. I ain't about to just, you know, I ain't got no money. Y'all don't take my money. So it's another currency down there. So I was like, hold on. You know what I'm saying? So he pressed me for about 15 minutes, 20, and I'm waiting. I get the address. Make a long story short, he takes me to an ATM, and it's got the air letters. I can't read that. All I see is numbers and then the air writing. It says 50, air writing 200, air writing 1,000, air writing 2,000. So he takes me 20 minutes to the spot where I get to, and then he gonna tell me hit the 1,000 at the ATM. He said, hit that 1,000, hit the 1,000. I said, no, hold on, bro. I ain't about to hit no 1,000. So me and him going back and forth. We going back and forth for about I say about a minute and a half. We going back and forth. I'm not hitting this 1,000. I'm like, wait, bro, chill out, bro. I said, I ain't about to hit no 1,000. I might hit that 50. He said, no. He said, when you hit it, check your account. I'm not trying to play you. I promise you. I'm not trying to play you. I said, you not trying to play me. I said, bro, you ain't going to play me. You ain't know you not trying. You ain't going to play me. So when I did hit the 1,000, but I'm keeping the 1,000 because it's 1,000 coming out this ATM and Arab money. You know what I'm saying? So I get the money. You know what I'm saying? Listen.
What kind of money was it?
Arab money, man. So Hey, B-Roll, I'm gonna send you some pictures too of the money. But listen, I got the cash and I gave him 150, but I looked at my account first. So when I got that 1,000, I looked at my account, only $200 came out. So he was trying to explain. He said, see, I told you. So 200 of American dollars is $1,000 in Saudi.
Oh, okay. Hey, that ain't bad.
Right. So I was like, cool. That's all I said.
I don't want A-Rad money. I don't want A-Rad money.
I've been hearing some foul stuff about Saudi Arabia, brother.
I was so geeked, I gave him 150. I said, oh, well, that's good, man. You know what I'm saying? Take 150. He called me a baller after that. So I was
I would have gave him $10, man. You know me. I'm from Cleveland.
Oh, you silly. But no, it was really dope, man. That experience was dope. The bathroom experience was different too. I didn't have to do the number 2 down there. Thank God. I didn't have to do no number 2 down there. But I came in the bathroom. It was a public bathroom.
Drink some
outside.
water, man. You better drink some water, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You
Listen,
need to drink some water, man.
Listen, I came into they had a bathroom outside the arena. What you know how our Americans, we got those what they call those the little when you had a fair, like when we had a fair and they got the bathroom. Yeah, they had a bigger one, but this one you can walk up and it looks like a mobile home type thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You walk in, it's big as heck, but they had one guy in there cleaning. So when I walked in, you know, I just gonna take a pee. I see him pushing water and the water hit my shoe. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? You know, he pushing it past me into a drain. And then I'm looking at all the stalls in there. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I look at all the stalls. They got water coming from under there. Like it's a flow. It's a flow. And I'm like,
was it a bidet?
All of them. And it made sense.
Oh, they was all bidets. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when I opened it up, I seen that. I'm like, oh, one guy came out and I said, oh, so this is what they doing. They just bending over and they got a little handle thing. You pull up and you just shoot your ass. You shoot your ass over the toilet. They ain't got no tissue. So look.
He said this is what they do when they bend over.
Hey, I can't make this up, y'all. So I said, dang, if I do that, if I bend over and hit this thing with my ass, I gotta scream "no homo" really out loud. You know what I'm I gotta scream "no homo" while this water hit me and this shit out
No
hard,
did
too.
it. I said no did it. I say no did it. No did it.
But yeah, I was like, hey, I'm telling y'all, man.
I can see now Ohio run boxing, or somebody walk past and take a picture of him. You just got a picture of him with his ass tooted in the air. Hey, that's your boy, BBO.
Hey, Mark, no, the part that got me, you gonna say the water shoots your ass hard. Like what?
No, but Bevo, hey, you know we curious, man. I wanted to grab it and shoot it and see what it was. I'm supposed to be peeing, so I'm curious. This is my first time in the bathroom in Saudi, man. So I'm like, This is crazy, bro. So I pulled the trigger. You know, I just pulled it to see, and then I just ended up peeing. But what got me was, I'm like, wait a minute. Everybody else in the other stool, all that water that's hitting they ass into the toilet, the extra water that's hitting the floor that was on my shoe. That's what I'm walking into. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like,
you walking into water that's splashing off a nigga's asses.
There you go. And I got Jordans on. You feel what I'm saying? I got J's on down here in Saudi, and it's the water run. It wasn't high or nothing. Don't
tell me you had them new 12s on. You know I'm about to get them.
No, I had the ones, man. I had some black and orange ones on, man. But he pushed and he had a squeegee. But the guy that was in there cleaning, he stayed in there. It's like he had a seat. So they does that. It's like a routine, man. He's gonna stay in there, then somebody else come in another shift, and they push the water into a drainage sewer that was in the corner. So it was kind of crazy to see that. But that was one of the experiences. The women beautiful down there, man. So that was another thing that they was covered, but gorgeous women. Some of them didn't have the cover their whole face. They had their hair down, man, but they ain't hollering at no American men.
Yeah, the women ain't bring $40, did you?
I got $40.
I'm good.
All right.
You said what?
Man, you ain't bring $40?
Those are the ones that's married.
I had $800. But you seen other American women down there too. So you'll run across other American women. I didn't feel like I was in a foreign land with just everybody Saudi and all that. Nah, you seen other Americans walking around, even in the airports. You seen it. Another thing that threw me off, I didn't know, because it was the first time I ever traveled international. I'd never been international, so this was my first time, man, passport and everything. So when I got there to Saudi, we had to get a visa. So I didn't know what a visa was. I'm like, man, what you talking about visa? I got a MasterCard. I don't need no visa. Y'all trying to give me an extra, you know what I'm saying, credit card? That's what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? I don't need y'all visa, bro. What are you talking about? But the visa is more about the stay. How long you gonna be there? What's your information, address, all that. So they had to explain that to me because I'm arguing with them as I first get in the airport, bro. Like, you know. So
Yeah, I had to do that in DR.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that, man. I did not know that. So that was something nobody.
Let me ask you, Ohio, did you get invited or you just went?
No, I was with the Masons. What I'm doing?
Oh, you was with the Masons. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was. That was the whole thing, man. I've been following those kids and Tiger, all of them since the amateurs, bro. So this was big to see those kids, man, go from and what I had was a DNA T-shirt on, to represent the original gym that they came out of. A lot of people didn't know they came out of Cleveland DNA gym. They had 80 fights out of DNA. So that was another thing that I wanted to pay tribute to because sometimes that's more than money, man. You pay
and that's in the hood, bro. BBO don't go over there.
Mm-hmm. You silly. But yeah, so you want to pay homage, and I thought that was big too, man. You want to pay homage and respect to the coaches, Coach Ali, who still is over there at Safo and DNA, man. Those are great coaches. They don't ask for much, so you want to pay tribute, man, and let them know, man. They know where they came from, and sometimes they locked in. They don't be thinking to give everybody a shout out or who deserves, you know what I mean? So they don't think about that sometimes. They just locked in. So I wanted to make sure that they got their recognition, man, and Team DNA. So that was big, but overall, this experience was really, really dope, man.
How was the food?
Good question, man. I was scared, bro. I wasn't trying to eat everything down there. So I'm gonna tell you, I took the cheat weight out. I ain't gonna lie. I seen that they had BW3s down there. I was like, wait a minute, a BW in Saudi Arabia, you know. So I ate McDonald's. So I got a McChicken sandwich, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I was expecting it to be nasty because I had some of their Pepsi down there. So I didn't get a lot of stuff, man. I had like cappuccinos and stuff like that, but I didn't.
How you eat McDonald's and then have to go to the bathroom? That's crazy.
Hold on, I had McDonald's. See, I ate McDonald's. I got there on Friday. Let me explain. I got there on Friday night. I left Thursday at 1. I got there Friday afternoon around 8 o'clock. Was at the airport probably about an hour and some change because I had to get that visa stuff situated. So I didn't leave the airport till about like 10 something, to be honest, 10:30 or something like that. Then I found the hotel. I had to get to a hotel. I talked to Charles Conwell because I didn't have an address. Valiant.
Was he awake?
Who, Charles? Yeah, he was. Him and Mickey Bay was in the room. They gave me the address to where they were at to get in the hotel because I didn't book a room because I was like, I don't even know what time I'm gonna get over here. Why am I gonna book a room and say, oh, I'm gonna be here for 2 days when I don't even know what time I'm getting over here to this country? You know what I'm saying? So I only needed 1 day anyway. So I landed Friday. Yeah. I went to the room where Charles had me go to the hotel. It was beautiful, man. They only had one room left. And it was $3,000. Talking about 3-bedroom, 90-inch TV. I said, bro, I don't need all that for one night. I'm good. So I
90-inch TV.
Man, I told Charles and them, I said, no, I appreciate it. I said, no, I'm going to find another one. So they ended up taking me to another one where I ended up paying $100 for that night. So it was cool. It was
they had a Red Roof Inn in Saudi?
Man, they probably did. That probably was what it was too. It probably was.
You know, it's Ohio niggas that go to that Red Roof Inn when we down bad, man.
Man, I wanted to take a picture of the window because when I went in there, it was a nice room, but I forgot to take a picture of the window, bro. The window, when you look at the window, it's big and beautiful, but there's a curtain over it. So when you move the curtain back, it's it looked like it used to be a jail. It's a whole bunch of bars. You can't look outside. I'm like, what is this, man? Like this was a jail turned into a room. Like you can't, it's barred up, bro. It was like double bars. Like you got one that was like coming straight down, then you got other ones behind that. Like ain't no way you getting out of that room, bro. You gotta go one way. It's crazy. So that was crazy. Look at that. I was gonna take a picture of that. But back to the sandwich I ate. I ate that Saturday. And it was McDonald's. I got McDonald's. I only had one burger because I thought it was going to be nasty because I just had the Pepsi for the first time. I bought a Pepsi at a store, and I think I got some chips. So I got some light stuff, man. But the Pepsi tastes like Pepsi Zero. the regular Pepsi. I was like, dang, they ain't got no sugar. That's you know. So I was like, dang, I didn't even finish the whole can. I was like, nah, bro, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? So I did have some water. So that was the
Real
first.
Ohio nigga got to get a Pepsi when he pulled up.
Man, we got to get our diabetes up. You know what I'm saying? We got to get our diabetes up. There ain't enough sugar, dog.
Well, my grandma said, go get me a Pepsi out of there.
So look, I get to McDonald's. I actually got this video recorded. I actually showed them that the Asian guy gave me the McDonald's, burger and stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm about to have me a little burger. I'm thinking it's gonna be nasty already. The first thing I done tasted that I actually wanted did not please me. So I'm like, I think it's gonna be nasty. My mind is already made up that it's gonna be nasty. That's why I only wanted one burger. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let me get a McChicken salad. Man, I've been into that, expecting to spit it out. It ended up being the best chicken sandwich I've ever had at McDonald's. I said, this is crazy. They said, you want another one? Yes, I want another one.
You know where McDonald's is good at? Canada. I don't know if you've ever been to Canada. They got a huge McDonald's menu, bro.
Well, that's crazy. I only went to look. I'm gonna say this. I ain't gonna say Solly got the best McDonald's food. Just that location. I might have looked up at that location by the stadium, but it was man. It tasted really good. I had two of those. But mind you, I still didn't use the bathroom. So I didn't have to use the bathroom till after the event was over. I still didn't have to use the bathroom. I caught a flight right after the event was over, bro. So I was flying. I was already back in the air. I used the bathroom in Germany. That's where I was at, in Germany. So I ain't had to use one of them squeezies, bro, because I was like, what? Man, they crazy. My thing was, okay, they use it because I want to be educated too, man. I'll be honest, it's education to learn that stuff too. But I was more curious of how is they drying themselves off. They didn't have no napkins or nothing. So I'm like, okay, cool. Y'all wash it.
They probably let the water run down, man.
I don't get it, bro. That's why I was like, okay, if y'all want me to do it, I'm gonna be wet. I'm gonna have wet jeans on, bro. Like, ain't no way I'm hitting that and they ain't got nothing to dry off with, bro. They ain't have none of that. So, but that was an experience, man. It was an experience. I wasn't there that long, but it was definitely a good experience. You know what I'm saying? So
what did Turkey look like? Did he had a rag on his head?
Man, they all, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I wouldn't say this publicly on my platform, but I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. They all look alike.
He cold, man.
Bro, they all look alike, bro.
You didn't wear a thobe down there?
Man, no, man.
If I go to Saudi Arabia, I'm gonna be like Meek Mills. I'm gonna get me a thobe.
That's funny, man.
But let me ask you this real quick. So what would you say about Tiger, man? Because my man Pride's been hating on Tiger for a long time, man.
I ain't been hating on that.
You've been hating on him, man.
I like the kid. BBO be so rough on that kid. BBO's he gonna get beat to death in his last fight, and he came out and had a hell of a performance.
Yeah. I think Tiger to me, I just felt like, and I said this, Tiger is one of those guys that he's gonna fight somebody that's gonna bring the best out of him. He's one of those type of guys. Like if he's fighting superb opponent, the guy that's not subpar, guys that's not really that good. He's gonna he ain't gonna really
dog it.
He don't separate himself as much. He wins, and sometimes he get knockouts here too. But I felt like Nicholas was a chip on his shoulder. A lot of people don't know that his coach, he let go a couple months before that. So you know what I'm saying? He let Prentice go, and he had a chip on his shoulder, man. So I knew he was gonna come in here and pretty much put on and really press the issue and really try to make a statement. But he's real quiet. He doesn't talk as much. He doesn't do a lot of social media. So, he's gonna have to get a little bit in tune with that. But Tiger is he's one of those guys that's gonna be quiet, but as one of the best fighters from our state. Like nobody is still giving this guy credit. And then
he's not a quiet guy, which is funny because he's not a quiet guy.
Why you say that?
When I say that, I'm talking about he got a really good personality.
Oh yeah, he cool. But he's real private though. He's real private. He definitely I seen on Sean Porter's podcast and stuff too talking. But yeah, he's definitely laid back and private. Cool, man.
Man, man, can you tell the truth, Ohio? But nobody mess with Sean Porter in Ohio, bro. You just be honest. Am I lying, man? Stop it, man. Don't nobody mess with Sean. They mess with Kenny. They don't mess with Sean, bro.
But Sean,
you know that.
I'd say that Sean, I didn't even, for all these years it was controversy with Sean. Was he from Cleveland or was he from Akron? But I finally got to the bottom of it. He's a Cleveland fight. He's from Cleveland, bro. But
he from Stowe, man. Stop.
Man, he was going back and forth. No, I talked to his brother too. His brother Kenny was letting me know that too, man, showing me some documentation. I was like, that's crazy, man, that they got to show that, because it's like, you born in Cleveland, but you was going back and forth. You was still going to Akron. He was. They had a gym in Akron where he was going back and forth.
Good Shepherd. Shout out to Good Shepherd.
Yep. So yeah, they did, man. So yeah, that's one of the things with him, man. But Abdullah is one of the first ones to win the world title to actually live in Cleveland. It's been a long time since they had a fighter that lived in Cleveland. Mickey Bay.
Man, he lived in Houston, man. Stop that. He lived in
Mickey
Houston.
Bay won. Mickey Bay won, and he was in Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? So he won his title. So yeah. So shout out to them, man. So it's just.
You think gonna see a homecoming fight? He gonna come back home to Cleveland and do a homecoming fight?
Well, you see, I don't know if you saw it, but I did a pitch. I actually threw it out that night. I was in the plane when I actually dropped the post. I said I like Edwin De Los Santos. After he fight in December, I like Edwin De Los Santos is a threat. I think a lot of people would like to see that. And then you get Charles Conwell on the undercard, Jared Anderson. I think Tiger will be co-main. I like that, man. I think it'll be bring a lot of.
Is Jared doing better, man?
Well, Jared about to fight Frank Sanchez for a title eliminator. So if he ain't got nothing to do with if he doing better or not, he gonna have to sharpen up. But I'm gonna say this though, BBO.
But I ain't gonna speak about it. He been having some issues. That's why I was asking.
I mean, with the girls and stuff like that. I don't know what else type of issues you talking about. I mean,
that's what I'm talking about with the girls and stuff.
Yeah. I get that, but I think with him, I think all it takes is one win, get him back in the right column. Because to me personally, mentally, I think he's going through what Devin Haney was going through on a mental standpoint. When people was questioning him, he's coming off of vicious knockout loss. It was embarrassing. And then he come back and get a win, but it didn't look good. He still didn't look good. Similar to, a Devin Haney. I think he can, this is a good fight for him to snatch the crowd. I don't expect a lot of people to pick Jared going into this fight. Like I felt Devin Haney. I felt a lot of people was picking Brian Norman over Devin, and they will bring up, well, he looked at like shell shock in this fight, and then you remember with Ryan, he ain't never the same. You know how guys is, and I picked Devin. I just felt like this was the perfect opportunity for him to shine. Now, Jared still got to prove it, so he going to have a lot of doubters, but he going to have to prove it, bro. He going to have to put on his boots. It's a title eliminator. And you got to get to working because they ain't doing it with Torres. What's his name? I think Torres from Tyreek Down. They wasting time with that boy, man. They don't believe in that boy. So
I mean, it's hard to. What you think, Prize? Richard Torres? He just seemed too small for the division.
Who, Torres?
Yeah, because he like more of a light heavyweight. He don't really seem like a heavyweight.
Yeah, he's very undersized for a heavyweight. So I got to agree with you on that one.
Yeah. I don't know what they gonna do with him or try to move him cruiser.
Yeah, like what are they seeing?
I don't know. They keep it. I have no idea. But
I'm not saying he can't rumble. That's not what I'm saying, Ohio. I'm just saying he's kind of undersized, don't you think?
No, I'm with you. That's
super undersized, super.
And he's not a devastating puncher. He's not knocking nothing out where we like, oh. You know what I'm saying? At least when you put him in fights where he's supposed to win, at least look good. I mean, we gotta have some type of American fighters that's breaking something. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is with that. But I hope Jared is able to bounce back. He need to be in this type of situation against a Frank Sanchez that's going to be favored. You're crazy if you don't think Frank Sanchez should be favored going in this fight. I'm from Ohio, but I keep it a buck.
And I'll say this, man. I think people don't understand that. I really think Ohio is kind of headed to like a renaissance in boxing, man, because we got a lot of young guys that's really coming up and doing their thing. Yeah. But one thing I want to get your opinion on, man, and this is a little different. But what do you think about what they're doing with Jasmine Tucker, man? Where they're gonna allow his family to sue the cops that unfortunately took that young man's life. What do you think about that? Is that a good thing?
Jasmine Tucker. What happened in that situation? I'm confused.
It was a young brother from Akron. I guess he had a toy weapon or something on him. I believe that's what the cops said, and he unfortunately was executed. But I was saying, you being from Ohio, I didn't know if you had heard about it. I was wondering, do you think it's a good thing for a guy like that for his family to get some money for what happened to him?
Well, sure, if it was accidental and he got a gun and all that, I mean, he got a toy gun and they shot and killed him, yeah. I mean, sometimes we can't sit there and say who deserves money and don't deserve money. If it's something wrongfully happened to a person and they deserve to get millions of dollars for it, bro, give it to them. Let them figure out, what they're gonna do with it. So if he got if he got shot and he had a toy gun and that's kind of messed up, man. So depending on how the context of how was it, you know what I mean? So I don't know too much about it, but yeah, I think they should be compensated for that. You know what I mean? I think what threw me off when you said Akron, it was another story that happened where the son shot the father in the head. I don't know if you heard about that one, because his baby mom was pregnant by his father. He found out his baby mom was pregnant by his father, so he shot and killed him. So that was kind of crazy, man. So it's a lot of stuff out here that's going on. It's kind of wild.
Yeah. So I ain't gonna lie, man. Abdullah Mason was some much needed good news from Ohio, bro, because we've been on a losing streak, dog. We've been on a losing streak, man.
What you mean?
I'm talking about I'm talking about locally. I ain't talking about boxing. I'm talking about locally. So it was good to get some good news out of Cleveland, man.
Yeah, it was a trap fight for him. We've been on the Cleveland. I mean, Sador coming back doing his thing on the same week as Abdullah. Yeah, man. I think y'all definitely need it, man. The city. Now, I am gonna say this, BBO. There are doubts about Abdullah fighting at home right away because they don't know if he can sell out Rocky Field Stadium. If I'm saying it right, the one
Rocket Field House.
Rocky Field House.
Yeah.
They don't know if he can sell there. But if I'm talking to other people and I'm saying, why are y'all trying to go there? I wouldn't go there first. I would go to Cleveland State. Cleveland State is a great venue. I don't think we should try to do the Rocky Field. No, do Cleveland State.
He should do the Wallstein Center first.
That's Cleveland State.
He should do there. Cleveland State. Yeah, he should do there because the Rocket Field House. And I'm not trying to say this to be a jerk, but Abdullah is not popular enough to do that here.
No, so I'm with that.
That's the thing.
But that's the conversation you got to have with Top Rank because they got to have that because I'm hearing guys from Top Rank at the higher ups and saying they don't know if he can pull that off right now with they only looking at the Rocky. And I'm like, no, look at Cleveland State, bro. You look at Cleveland State, and that would be a good.
I don't think he would sell that out either. I'm be honest with you, man, and I'm not saying this to be a jerk. And I'm from Cleveland, and when I say they don't really know him that much, man.
I'm with you. I'm with
them
you.
Them dudes going to Houston like they did was kind of a bad thing to me.
No. I disagree because you got to remember now that he even fight for a world title, Cleveland Browns has been posting them. Cleveland Browns posting them on their IG and stuff like that. So he's starting to get a lot of exposure from the top media pages in Cleveland and stuff like that. They're going to be on the radio show. They're going to be pushing that, and he's going to be able to do a Cleveland tour to promote his fight. But the key is they're going to need me for the show. They're going to need me to push show to help push this because it's got to be Ohio run boxing. They're going to have to use the other fighters like a Jarrett, a Tiger, and make that an Ohio card that's gonna be worth fire, man. Worth watching.
Tiger could. I'm gonna tell you something funny. Tiger's really popular in Cleveland. Because he bought $1 million worth of game. He bought Wallow and Gilly to the hood. Like, I don't know if they checked that out before they went, but they had them brothers in the hood. I was like, I couldn't believe it, man. But I'll say this, man. You really always do a great job, man, putting on for the state, man. And you getting a chance to be out there and see that. What was the best part of seeing Abdullah win, man?
You said the best part?
Yeah.
His face beat up and him holding the title. He didn't get it the easy way, bro. He didn't get it the easy way. I think you want to see somebody go through grit and go through what he went through, but not as much. But he still went through it, man. He said, "Look, he pretty much like Robert Easter." You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much that was.
And you only said that because you know Robert Easter, my boy. That's why you said that. That was my guy.
You like Robert Easter?
Oh yeah.
His vacant title of Richard Coleman was a war, bro. That was a vacant title.
It was.
It was a good one. They tried to play him some. He lost. I'm like, no, he didn't, bro.
No, Richard Coleman is good, man. But I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna hit you behind the scenes, man. But I'll say this, man. Shout out to my brother Marcus from Ohio runs boxing. We all learning from him. Shout out to Cam J. And y'all know we BVO Sports TV. It's not many of us, but we all together, man. So that's one of the cool things, man. But I'll say this, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Go check out my man Ohio Runs Box on Instagram. But I'm hit you up, man. I'm about to get out of here, man. We've been on a while. We got my little view count. Now I'm about to lay down, man. I'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, man. You have a good one.
You too, man. Peace.
Yep.
And if you're watching this on playback, like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy BVO Sports TV, man. I appreciate you guys showing all the support you have. The channel's been growing immensely. And I can only do what you guys allow me to do. So I want everybody to know that support BVO Sports TV, man. I love you. And I'm so thankful for what you guys are doing for my family and helping us grow and do something special with this channel, man. So make sure y'all stay tuned. I see nothing but green skies for us, man. We're going to keep growing, and we're going to keep growing together, man. So make sure y'all stay tapped in for sure. We can be back tomorrow. No, I actually think, I don't know if we're going to come back tomorrow. I'm thinking I might take the day off, and we might just come back Monday because it's the holiday. But we'll see, man. But that's what I'm leaning towards. We might not come back tomorrow. We might not come back until Monday. But, you know, we got to enjoy the holidays too, man. We got families and stuff too. So, like I said, I want to thank each and every person that's supporting BVO Sports TV. On that note, I love you guys. Peace. How you turn this thing off?
What's up, guys? Chris Algieri here. Big shout out to BVO Sports TV.
Shout out to BVO Sports TV. Make sure you tune in right away. Hottest in the city, hottest in the U.S.
Shout out to BVO Boxing. You understand? Check the boy out. Check the kid out. You understand?
B3 Picks hit us in a big shout out to the Sports Talk Network, the one and only, the People's Network. Shout out to BVO Sports TV and all of the channels of the Sports Talk Network. They partner with your guy B3 Picks and B3BoxingPicks.com, where we provide pre-fight boxing picks of the week, but also live boxing betting options so we can make money pre-fight or during the fight betting on the beautiful sport of boxing. Follow me on all social media at B3 Boxing Picks. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Not Another Boxing Channel, presented by B3 Picks for more content. The membership is as low as $25 a month. If you have any questions, DM me on Instagram, B3 Boxing Picks, and let's go green.
Always showing love. Appreciate you, my brother. God bless. But like I said, y'all, we're going to get out of here, man. Appreciate you guys. Another great show. We're going to keep working, keep grinding, man. So holler at us soon, y'all. Peace.
I got $40.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm ready for that full cheese Whopper.
Hold on 1 second, huh?